Welcome to Noodles.
And Company.
I miss Noodles and Company.
It's good. Good stuff. So, hello and welcome to Curse of Strahd.
Gotta work on that sound effect.
Huh?
Gotta work on that sound effect.
Yeah, it was really good last time.
I couldn't tell whether you were saying good work or gotta work. Like, gotta work on that. That's...
Let's go with that. Yeah.
I'd just take the music from Young Frankenstein. Use that as the intro.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw that I did put out the audio podcast of our first two, and I introduced the episodes with toccata and fugue in D major.
Oh, sweet.
Or D minor. I can't remember that. But... So, this is a live play D&D stream where we're going to be playing... the Curse of Strahd module on Roll20 and using tabletop audio for music ambiance. And this is episode 3, so we're a little ways in. But let's have everybody briefly give like a one-sentence sum up of your character and note the most memorable thing that happened last episode for each of you.
Oh boy, that means I got to remember what happened last episode.
I'll go last for obvious reasons, or at least reasons that will become obvious.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just call on you if you don't volunteer.
There we go. I'm in Twitch now.
Okay.
It took a bit for me to be able to get in there.
So, Lee, a.k.a. Honor, tell us about your character and what was the most memorable thing that happened last time.
Honor is a Tiefling Ranger, Beast Clan, and her loyal companion Anubis, her wolf. And honestly, I think the most memorable thing that happened is the realization that, oh my God, these people are crazy.
Specifically, what was it that put it over the line for Honor?
When did you realize you were in Twin Peaks?
I think I realized I was in Twin Peaks when, basically when I woke up that morning. No, but the rushing up the stairs and into the actual windmill was definitely one of those things.
Yeah. It was that was what finally convinced you. That was a memorable moment, to be sure.
Yes.
Yes. Not least because that's where we left things, so it's kind of everyone's on the edge of their seat. But so, how about you, Tim? Who are you playing? What do you remember from last time?
I am Julius, a Aasimar Paladin, and I stand for the commitment to justice and the defeat of evil. And last game, I guess one thing that stands out is beating back the attempts of that old lady who was trading pastries for children, and saving that little kid.
Yeah. How about you, Mark?
Me? Well, let's see. I am Mark Dean Caffeinated One, but I'm playing Periwinkle Peartree. You might know as Perry. A stout halfling, but I do prefer my wine. A follower of Lathander, the light of the morning. And in the last session, we talked to some rather wonderful Vestani, who had some other rather wonderful stories and some pretty decent wine, although it's the same wine everybody's got. And we met Madame Eva, whose Eva does not stand for evil. It stands for even better the second time.
All right. Nettie?
Hello, and I am Nuke Jazz, also called Nettie. I am playing Shadow, a wood elf. And I'm trying to actually remember where I was. I was still downstairs checking out the weird smells in the barrel, and getting very, very sick from it, and horrified by it. Yeah. And not really sure where people are running around.
And so please forgive me. Would you prefer I introduce you as Nukchus?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay. Well, I just want to. I am happy to use whichever one you like.
because I use both, I do like to go back and forth so people don't get confused and go and think, wait, I thought Nuke just was on this, or oh, I thought Nutty was here.
Okay.
Because not everybody knows. I think most people who know of me know that they're the same, but if you've seen one, you may not realize that it is the same as something you've seen of the other. It's weird.
All right. And so, last then but not least, Nobilis.
Hi, I am Nobilis. I am playing Jazrik, also a ranger, only I am a hunter type rather than a beast type. And he's got a dark, haunted past and a rather inordinate and thoughtless or impulse to protect children, especially. And that's why at the end of the last episode, he initiated combat with a creature that, well, might be much stronger than he is.
Well, it didn't help that when you rolled your intelligence roll to see whether you were able to determine whether or not this was just a helpless old lady, you literally got double critical fails.
Yes. Yes.
Good point. That was definitely a downturn.
Yeah, that was not optimal for...
Stay in the light, or we
guys.
get double critical successes.
Yeah, so I wrote out, like last time, this whole thing where it was almost like a scene-by-scene recap, but it started getting really long. So instead of just going and reading that whole thing, let's just talk about the broad strokes of what happened last time. So you guys all kind of returned to the Burgomaster's mansion where Irina and Ismark were, and you prepared to barricade everything up for the night. Julius returned, claiming that he had had food poisoning. Later revealed it was actually because of a strange vision given to him by ravens. While you guys were, hunkering down, you heard an old lady selling pastries. Turns out, yeah, this is an old lady who is selling pastries and taking children in payment. That couldn't stand. So you went out to confront her, and she was more than willing to voluntarily give up this kid, but you suspected she still had sinister intentions. And it also became clear that these pastries are some kind of a drug. From there, you rode out the night. There was some banging, but not a lot of aggression. In the morning, you found a dead rose placed in the door knocker. But it was time to go and have the funeral for the Burgomasters, which you did. And the Burgomaster recommended that instead of Valaki, as Ismark had suggested, that he suggested that you take Irina to the Abbey of St. Markovia in Kresk, which is another
the
town.
Burgomaster?
No, this is Father Donovich. Did I
Right,
say the
you said the
Burgomaster? Well,
yes.
my apologies. It was Father Donovich, who was at the Burgomaster's funeral. The priest of the Barovia Church suggested that you go to the Abbey of St. Markovia in Kresk, which is beyond Valaki. You guys kind of agreed that you were going to go ahead and get on your way. On your way, though, you encountered a Vistani camp where you met some old gypsy-like people who were drunk at 9 a.m. and keen to tell stories. So they gave you, a lot of helpful info about Strahd. Or is it helpful? We'll see. And you met Madame Eva.
As I recall, also, Perry decided when in Rome.
Oh, yeah.
Next to the locals, that's all.
When it comes to drinking, when in Rome, when not in Rome, it doesn't really matter.
When roaming,
Bring Rome with you.
roam on the range.
So yeah, you guys went and visited, and including at this camp, you met Madame Eva, who appeared to have some. She knew you by name without you needing to introduce yourselves, and
that wasn't creepy.
Yeah. So.
In my line of work, I'm used to people having information they shouldn't really know.
And she read your fortune, and she gave you the information that there were 3 treasures that would help you in your quest to defeat Strahd, and she gave you clues to each one. Does anyone have those hints written down?
I have the last three. I missed the first one.
Okay, so there was she
Sorry,
gave you three
I was
treasures.
talking
That's
and
okay.
I had myself muted.
Oh.
But yes, I do have them.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we need to find a wounded elf who will part with his treasure. We need a holy symbol of great hope.
The
We
holy
need
symbol is the treasure that's the clue for.
Okay, thank you. I didn't realize they were the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to group those together in my note.
Mhm.
We need to find the grave of the wizard ordinaire, and his staff is the key. We need a sword of sunlight, which okay, and then we also have to go to the mountains. The White Tower is guarded by gold knights. I'm pretty sure that's where the sword of sunlight is.
Yes.
Oh no, did
And
we lose someone out of the hangout? What happened here?
Tim is
Tim.
missing.
Yeah.
Lost him.
All right. Well, it
And-
Yes.
it
Stop
does a
wandering
weird thing
off.
in the stream. It shifts everybody over.
And seek out the brother of the devil's bride. So Ismark, he has a powerful soul. And to find the enemy, you need to look into the mother's tomb.
So to clarify, because it kind of, well, I don't know how much I should clarify. You guys wrote down what you know. That's what you've got.
I wrote as fast as I could.
Sure. No, that's fine. I was just trying, like, obviously part of the challenge here is you guys being able to, remember and do all of that.
Make connections.
Interpret, right? So I don't need to point out, like, all the extra little details. So you got your fortune read and apparently lucked out in the sense that this key ally of that you would need in order to defeat Strahd is apparently someone with you already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to bring Tim back in. So after leaving the Vistani camp, you made your way, back onto the road, heading towards where you can.
One thing we
welcome
might
back.
mention.
Oh yes.
Hey, Tim. One thing we might mention before we left the town, we did have a little chat with the son Doru,
Ah yes.
Father Donovan's unfortunate son, who's not seen the sun for some
Oh,
time.
yes.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yes.
we can do for the poor lad at the moment, but we've got it in his mind.
I'll note too, just as another moment that dice allowed to go differently than it might have is an extremely good dexterity saving throw on the part of Perry while attempting to cure young Doru. So
The thunder was with me.
yeah, so thank you for bringing that up. See, that's what I get for informally trying to sum up my long notes. On your way back on the road, you happened to see a ghostly image or vision of some kind at some sort of a pyre where Nutty appeared to see herself being burned at the stake.
Yeah.
But it was just an illusion, or was it? And then you made your way into the mountains, following this road, the old Svalich road. You reached a crossroads that one way would have led you to the gates of Castle Ravenloft itself. But the other way led you further west, and you came further through the mountains to the point where you could see in the valley below you the walled city of Vallaki. But you could also see up on a hill an old windmill. You had been led to suggest that the windmill was perhaps the home of the old woman who sold the pastries, and you had been warned at all costs to avoid the windmill by the Vistani. You were subsequently warned by a raven also, who seemed really insistent that you not go in there, but you ignored them and have rushed in. Found the ground floor of this place littered with small human bones, alarming to be sure. And Jasric rushed ahead, challenged the old woman he found there.
Well, tried to push past the old woman. She tried to grab me. I managed to get free. And she mentioned something about doing business, and I said, "Here's my business," and attempted to stab her with the spear, and we stopped there.
Indeed.
One more point of importance. We do have a straggler with us, the young Lucian, the son who was being offered up for pie. You
Indeed.
can take that both ways.
The current party includes the 5 of you as players, Ismark and Irina, who are hoping to escort you, hoping that you will escort them to a place where she can be safe from Strahd, and young Lucian, who you promised to bring to his relatives in Vallaki, since he didn't really want to go back to his parents who tried to sell him. So, just to refresh everybody's memories about the landscape here before we move forward, the description of the ground floor here. The ground floor has been converted into a makeshift kitchen, but the room is filthy. Baskets and old dishware are piled everywhere. Adding to the clutter is a peddler's cart, a chicken coop, a heavy wooden trunk, and a pretty wooden cabinet with flowers painted on its doors. In addition to the clucking of chickens, you hear toads croaking. The sweet smell of pastries blends horridly with a stench that burns your nostrils. The awful odor comes out of an open, upright barrel in the center of the room, which Shadow had identified as Demon Ichor, which I actually looked up, and it is pronounced Ichor, apparently, which seems weird to me, but whatever. The warmth issues from a brick oven against one wall, and a crumbling staircase ascends the wall across from it. Shrieks and cackles from somewhere higher up cause the old mill to shudder. And, of course, small human bones litter the flagstone floor. And then as Jazric forged ahead, heading up the stairs, on the second floor, let me demonstrate on the map here. We have second floor. A haggard, heavy-set old woman with a face as wrinkled as a boiled apple sweeps the floor, pushing around a few old bones and stirring up a cloud of white dust with her broom. She wears a blood-stained, flour-caked apron. A long, sharp bodkin impales her bundled-up mound of gray hair. The dirt-caked windows allow very little light to enter this 8-foot-high chamber, most of which is taken up by a large millstone connected to a wooden gear shaft that rises through the ceiling in the center of the room. A stone staircase continues up towards the sound of loud cackling. So, that's the scene in which we find ourselves here. But what's going to... here, let me just... tweaking what's shown on the map for the screen here. So we have... combat has been initiated. We have... we left off with Jazric intending to stab this old woman with his spear. But the way we're going to do this is we're going to have everybody roll for initiative now. And please try to do this by clicking initiative on your character sheet rather than just doing a generic roll, because that way it should pop up my turn tracker. If I can find my turn tracker. Okay, where is the turn tracker? I have
At least rolled good once.
and so what's going to... How do I come up with the turn? Oh, I know. I need to have everybody add a turn. There we go.
I think I got an error.
Okay.
You wanted to send the result of the roll to the turn tracker, but no valid token was selected.
Oh, let me double check, because I switched your character image, but it should be set up for you. It should be working. I mean, you.
We all got that error. It came before our initiative rolls.
Okay. Okay, hang on.
So it might be that you tried
Yeah.
before.
So I'm not seeing that error, but I know that it's also... Why am I not seeing the turn tracker? This is... Okay. All right. This is...
I presume that we all got that error, so that didn't go to the turn tracker. So it wouldn't
That's
come
my
up.
guess.
Yeah, I got
there
that
we go.
too.
There we go. I have the...
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Let me...
Well, we got two at least.
Yeah. All right. So I've added the turn tracker,
There we go.
and I'm gonna get everybody on here. turn.
Mine came up with a name. Did anybody else has come up with a name?
What do you
Feels
mean?
special. In the turn order list, my name's actually listed. All I see is icons for everyone else.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
they're all
Yeah, that's
listed
the way I
online.
see it too. That's
Yeah,
the way I see
my
it
name's
too.
listed too.
Oh, good. Okay, so
Yeah,
everybody's
we're all
sitting
seeing
around.
the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, and I'm adding turns to a few other things. And so basically what's going to happen here is even though everybody's rolling for initiative, which I'm going to actually have you roll again in... No, I can... Never mind. I'll type it in for the rolls. But what we're going to do is that for the first round here, we're going to consider everybody surprised except Jasric and this old woman because they're the ones kind of starting things. But you guys would be overhearing that, and so as a result, I'll say that we're in initiative once the shouting starts, but everybody is surprised except for them. Does that sound good to everybody?
Sure.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay. Please roll again for your for Anubis's initiative, Honor.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Not a problem. Just something that needs to happen. Okay. There we go. Okay. Perry got a 7. And Shadow got 15. Okay. Now I need to roll for everybody else. So, sorry, this is taking. I could have done some of this in advance, I think, but oh well.
It's a learning process.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Gesundheit, Julius.
I was actually just trying to read the spell. I didn't intend to cast it into the chat, but
Having done that before, I understand.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. We have an 18 and a 5, respectively, for Ismark and Irina.
Yeah. Are you meaning for those to show up in everybody's chat window?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering.
I'm hearing a kitty in the background, which is fine. I'm just
Yes.
observing.
That is my cat. Sorry.
That's all right.
Which one?
That's got to be Pip. Pip's the only one who talks like that.
Very vocal.
Let's see. All right. All right. 13. Oops. Okay. We're almost there, everybody.
In all of Barovia, there are cats watching everything.
Yeah, but spooky cats are quiet. This one's
Some say they are communicating or keeping a record of all the things that happen. Others say they're just simply keeping people up at night.
All right. Just so everybody's aware, Lucian critical failed for initiative, which, I mean, it's not really critical fail for initiative. It's just like as low as you can get. All right. So, Honor is first in initiative, but because she is surprised for this first round. Oh, which also, by the way, let's get a little ambiance here.
Is this once again tabletop audio?
Yes.
They provide great background sound for your role-playing game. Go to tabletopaudio.com, I think.
Yeah.
How's that?
I believe that's right. You can Google tabletop audio and you'll find it.
Is that a sufficient plug?
Yeah. I wonder why these initiative rolls didn't, they're not... Okay, weird. It's not ordering them the way I would have expected. Okay, I just need to do that manually. Alright. Okay.
Yeah, because once people start going and popping to the bottom of the order, it's no longer going to be numerical.
Right. I can reorder it.
Yeah.
So, Julius and Jazric both rolled a 17. Which of you has a higher dex?
Hold on a sec.
My dex is 14.
I'm trying to pull my character sheet back up. Here we go. Core. My dex is 8. I'm a spaz.
Oh, you just rolled really high then.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that means I'm just of the two of you, even though you tied, Jazric will go first. So, Jazric, you have beat this old lady in your initiative roll, which means that you get to go ahead and make your spear attack if that's still what you want to do.
Okay. That's still what I want to do. Ah!
All right. Let me just double check everything's looking where I want it to be. Let me.
Clearly a miss.
Yeah.
I do have a second attack.
You do?
Yeah. Two-handed.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah. So basically, what happens as you thrust your spear is this old lady who moments ago you assessed as being helpless and weak and frail. She catches the point of the spear in her hand, stopping your thrust. It just goes, "You've screwed up now." So you're making another attack?
yeah. All right, that's a little better.
Okay, yeah, that hits. So go ahead and you can roll damage there. Click on where the word's hand axed.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's giving me.
Okay. Oh, do you not have it set up in your character sheet with the damage?
I do. It's there. It's set up, and it's not rolling it. Hold on. Okay, I'll just roll it the old-fashioned way.
See, when I just now clicked the words where on the chat window.
Oh, we click on the chat window. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Got it. There we go.
Okay.
What? I don't know why it said 7 + 9.
It rolled it as a crit.
Oh, okay. It shouldn't have been. I rolled a 9.
No, well, because you ended up with a bunch of rolls. So
Okay.
just click any one of the other.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so you she catches the spear tip, which is alarming already, and I would imagine somewhat startled.
Does she catch the spear head, or does she block it with the point?
No,
block the point with her hand.
She seizes her hand around the tip. To stop the thrust, and then you swing your hand axe with the other hand, and it doesn't feel like chopping a normal living thing. It feels like chopping into a tree.
Oh dear.
And so it does sink a little bit in, but it feels hard, and you get the sense you didn't do as much damage as you expected.
All right. Well, that's it's. Oh, can I can move as long as I don't move out of range of her, right?
Well, right. If you move out of range of her,
she'll get a free attack.
She gets an opportunity attack. But
Right.
otherwise, I
Right.
mean,
well, she's going to attack me either way. So I think a hasty retreat is not out of the question. I'm going to take that opportunity attack, and quickly back down the stairs.
Okay. So on this map, if we're looking at your movement speed, um, you to get down the stairs, that's 1, 2, 3. We're going to call that 15 feet of movement to get you
Right.
down the stairs and put you back on the other
So there.
other map. Yes. And so right now, though, you can't really easily get out because everyone else is kind of clustered around this small first floor of the.
Back down the stairs is like, that ain't no old lady.
All right. And
so, figure it out.
so she does not lash out with a melee opportunity attack as you run. She's just cackling as you run.
Okay.
But then you hear her say, "Now hold on just a moment." And so she moves down to the top of the stairs. And she begins to cast a spell.
As an opportunity attack, or is that her turn?
No, this is her turn now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Just realizing because. Okay, there we go. So make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Jadric. I actually shouldn't have. I didn't need to click that into the chat. Okay, you feel this magical energy threatening to lock up your muscles and prevent you from moving, but you're able to just through force of will to get through it and not be paralyzed. She says, "Oh, look, you have some wits about you after all." Ophalia! What was the other name? Belia! Would you be a couple of dears and help out? We've got some unwelcome guests that need to be taught some manners. Alright, so that's going to do it for that first round. We're now going to be back up to the regular initiative order where everyone now has a turn as normal. And Honor, that means you're up first.
Okay. Okay. And I have, all right, let's see. Heavy crossbow.
Okay. You're firing at the old lady you can see?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And just because Jazric is in front of me has absolutely no bearing on anything.
Yeah. I'll say you have line of sight on her. So
yeah, I
also
have
up higher.
I'd have my abilities for heavy crossbow and for crossbow in general allow me to shoot around him.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can hit her.
Yeah, go for it. You do. You managed to strike her with a crossbow bolt. So go ahead and roll your damage. Okay. So once you see the crossbow bolt sink into her shoulder, and she just kind of looks down, plucks it out. You're going to have to do better than that. But you see that she did take some damage, but again, not as much as you would have normally guessed from what looks like an old lady taking a crossbow bolt to the shoulder.
Okay.
Left a dent.
Oh, good grief!
So are you gonna move? Or are you doing anything else?
I'm kind of stuck where I am.
You can move past a person, you just can't do it freely. I think it's difficult terrain.
You're squeezing, so basically it counts as double the normal space.
Okay.
So basically, instead of moving to move past where Shadow is, would take 10 feet of movement instead of 5, and so to get, say just outside the door would be 15 feet of movement instead of 10.
Well, that wasn't my thought.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so
I'm just
from there, I think you can get out of the way in that regard without difficulty. So is that where you're moving deeper into
Yeah.
like towards the center of this ground floor of this windmill?
Yeah, so that I can get a better line of sight.
Okay.
And unblock the door just in case I accidentally set the place on fire. With that in mind, I don't know if I have to ready it, but I do want to have Hellish Rebuke ready.
Well, you don't have to ready it. That just you can
Okay.
use that anytime you are attacked and take damage.
Okay.
All right, so that's your turn. Next up is Ismark, who is just going to make a perception check because he's outside. He's on the lookout for dangerous things that might happen. Just rating out there. You hear him call out from where he and Arena and Lucian were waiting outside. You hear him just say, "Guys, there's wolves." And that's all for his turn right now. Jezric.
I'm going to disengage.
All right.
I'm going to say, we don't have weapons that'll affect her. Let's get out. And I'm going to disengage and head for where Arena and Ismark are.
Okay, so you guys had them wait like 50 yards outside the windmill. So I'd say
Yeah.
if you get out of the windmill, it would take you two turns, or 2 normal turns worth of movement to get to them. If you're dashing, would be only
Well, I'm disengaging this round.
right. So I'm just saying you can get out, and so next turn, if you dash, you will get to where they are.
Right. So,
Right. Okay. That is your turn, Julius.
Julius, I am casting sleep on the old lady.
Okay. So you go ahead and you cast, you tap in to the holy energy around you, and you attempt to send this, magical bindings of slumber towards the old lady, and you roll dice for that.
Yeah, it's actually asking me cast at what level.
Well, you
Were
probably
you 1 or 2? I don't remember.
you were level 3, but
Okay.
But that does not mean you're casting it at 3rd level.
Oh.
it's the level of the spell slot you're using up to
Oh,
cast
okay.
it.
So that's level 1. Okay.
Yeah. So I think at level 3, do you guys have level 2 spell slots?
I have
Level
3
four.
level 1, and that's all I've got.
A full
Okay, well,
spellcaster can put it.
Yeah, he's a paladin though. He only has level 1 slots at this
yeah.
level. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so you feel the this energy seek out the nearest enemy creatures to you, and she kind of just blinks and says, "Ha, that's cute. You want to see what a real magician can do?"
Wish I could stay, but
All right, so you cast the spell. Are you going to move?
Yes, I'm going to head toward the exit as well.
All right. So from where you are to get outside, it's going to be 10, 20, like, so to get to outside past Shadow will be 25 feet of movement
Okay.
because you're kind of shoving past everybody.
And my rate of movement is 30. Okay.
All right. You're applying status effects to yourself, Mark.
I'm just seeing what all these buttons do.
All right. So yeah, you can get to the outside of the windmill adjacent to where Jazric is.
Okay.
With your movement, you can move yourself, or I can move you either way. All right.
Oh, here?
Um.
No, that's outside.
Yeah. So if you want to be next to Jazric,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Well,
Oh.
you've put yourself next to Perry.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I just wanted to make sure we're being clear about where you want to be, because these things can matter when you're fighting in
Yes.
combat.
Parry's a little shorter.
Yeah. So, yeah, there
There
you
you
go. Okay. Next up, you guys hear some creaking and some giggling within the windmill, but don't see anything.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me. Oh right, hang on. There's a lot of stuff going on here. All right. Next, Shadow.
Okay, so I've been at the door this entire time, as everybody knows, because they have to
And,
push past me.
Everyone's everyone's shoving past you.
So I'm going to step out of the door before I take my action. But as I do this, I think, everybody, we need to get out and we need to burn this place down. And so I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to bear out.
All right. Let me. I hadn't really fully figured out how to deal with those tokens, but here, I can.
You can put a status effect on yourself.
Yeah. Here, I know what to do. Let's see. Do we have? Oh, see, the bear is not. Yeah, I need to. I'll try to figure out a better way to do this in the future. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply a little thing on you.
Okay.
Let's. So this that little icon is that you are in your beast form.
Okay.
All right. So are you taking any other action or anything? Because I think you're Circle of the Moon, correct? So
Yes.
you can you can transform as a bonus action.
Exactly. So there are wolves out here. Yes.
You heard Ismark say that.
Okay.
You can make a perception check with your action.
All right. So wait, where is? Oh, Ismark's all the way over there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, they're still like 50 yards away from you.
All right.
But you see Ismark and Arena, and they've got Lucian kind of behind them, so like, between you and them, and they are looking out into the woods.
Oh, okay. So the wolves are out there. I'm just trying to figure out what to do. Because I'm a bear. I want to bite things. But there's nothing to bite at the moment. So can I hold my action or?
What would you want your action to be, and what would the trigger for it be?
The moment I see the old lady or her assistant come out, or the moment I see wolves, I want to attack them.
So what you could use your action for, I'm spitting on myself, is you could use it to dash and get closer to
that's right.
Ismark and Arena.
Right, so that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Right, because I move at a different speed now.
Yeah. So what is your speed as a bear? I can look it up.
Sure.
Do you not have this stats up? Okay.
I have. Let's see.
So I believe you're a brown bear, correct?
Yes, I'm a brown bear.
You have 40 feet of movement.
Okay, thank you.
So you can get about halfway to where they are.
So I'll do that.
All right.
These are 10 feet each or 5 feet?
Each square is 5 feet, but again, you're going to be going to the base of the windmill on the panel to the left, but that's not like to scale per map. So we'll just say you're halfway to them.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, had to throw that in there. I'm a bear now.
So I think that she's still primarily focused on. Let me think. What does she want to do? Because it's the old lady's turn here, and because I want to stop calling her the old lady, she's saying, Oh, you don't get to insult Morgantha and just run away. So she's actually gonna push into the through the doorway here, and she is looking out through the doorway at you, Jazric,
Okay.
and make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Wow, you just made the dexterity saving throw, which means you're about to take half damage from what's about to happen.
Okay.
That's the good news.
Electrical energy starts to crackle around her hands, and then all of a sudden she streaks out one hand, and a lightning bolt shoots across out through the doorway at you, and so because you succeeded on your dexterity save, you're going to take half damage, which means you take 11 lightning damage.
Okay. I'm down to 13.
All right. Okay, so, and also Morgantha is now standing in the doorway. Everybody.
Wouldn't that trigger the bear attack?
Well, Shadow ran halfway to where Ismark and Arena are.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she used her action
Never
to
mind.
dash instead of holding. Yeah.
Okay.
Perry, you're up.
Who's still stuck inside there? Is that-
Honor is there.
Okay.
And Anubis is there too.
Yeah,
Alright.
Honor and Anubis.
You, madam, are a terrible sight before the light of Lathander, and I cannot help at least to make an impression upon you before I leave in this terrible place. So, within the space, let's see, does anything look flammable?
Yeah, I think that there's a couple of baskets that look like they're full of like dried herbs and stuff.
Cool. So where
Probably
those
used
are
for
to
making
start
the
with,
pastries.
where those are to start with, I cast as a gathering of light gathers round my holy symbol on the chest. It forms into a roundish ball that instantaneously teleports over to those flammable bits as this gets cast. It's called Flaming Sphere. Now, at the moment, all it might do is light those things on fire. But I'm not done yet. She's in the doorway.
Yep.
But I'm a small little lad, and it doesn't really bother me all that much. As a halfling, I simply step around her and move outside. And for my bonus action, I direct the sphere at her back and ram it into her. That means she'll have to make the dexterity saving throw.
All right, yeah, I'm just pulling up the spell. So she's going to make. She makes a dexterity saving throw.
She doesn't. She doesn't make it. Good.
Okay. So, so she does not evade this this flaming sphere that smacks into her back, and so she does. You do smell sort of the crackling as her robes kind of. Let's see. Does it actually catch her on fire or no?
If
No,
she's
no,
flammable,
just
but
the
not being
damage.
worn or carried.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you see smoke, and some of her hair gets singed away by this thing, and she does kind of just gasp a little bit, like ah.
Well, she did take 6 points of damage.
You get the feeling once again that it did not seem to be as effective as you would normally have guessed. She didn't react to the fire as, it didn't look as painful for her as you would have expected.
Was it successful in lighting the baskets on fire, at least?
Yes, you see that there's a little column of smoke, rising from several of those baskets.
Now, one thing I'm not sure how to do, the flaming sphere stays around, so I don't know how to put that on the map.
let's see. I can help with that.
Draw something, or I could.
Keep having to move different. Yeah, let's do that. We can have you just draw like a little red circle on the map where it's hanging out, which is currently kind of behind Morgantha.
Alright. Let's see if. Well, that's not a circle, but.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where it is.
It's a flaming square.
Yes. All right. So that's your turn. Let's see.
Oh.
You've
Actually, I'm going to continue to move a little further away.
Okay.
She might have an opportunity attack if she decides.
She could have, but does not seem to take one.
There, so. All right.
All right. You hear more creaking coming down the stairs, and you see another old lady. Is an ugly woman wearing silk shawls and gowns of stitched fletch. Long needles stick out of her tangled mop of black hair, and she cackles with glee as she appears at the top of the stairs and says, "Oh, look, guests!" And she basically looks to you, Honor, because you're the one that's kind of still there in the center of the windmill. And she's going to... What's she going to cast? Sorry, I have to... I need a better way to keep this up so I don't have to keep pulling it back out of the... There we go. She is going to... She's going to, yeah, that's what she's going to do. Make a wisdom saving throw, Honor.
All right.
All right. You find yourself, magic is sort of surrounding you, and suddenly the world, like this windmill around you, starts seeming to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's actually you getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and she has just turned you into a frog.
Oh, yay.
Holy crap!
Well, now you can move around a little more freely.
She turned me into a newt.
So
I got better.
I'm gonna leave your token the same for now, but actually,
I think there's a status effect for frog.
is there? Oh yeah, look, there are lots of them there, aren't there? I don't see a frog one, but
If snail, I guess maybe that was what I was thinking of.
yeah. But yeah, so we're going to use that little indicator to indicate that you are currently a frog.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So you have just turned into a frog, and none of the rest of you saw that
Yeah.
because you're all.
But the door's
outside
still
already.
open, isn't it?
Yeah. But you guys are all running out, so. All right. Next is Irina's turn, and those of you outside can see that she's pointing into the woods in a direction. There are wolves coming, wolves and dire wolves. All right. Next, Anubis.
my saving grace.
Yeah, so
Anubis is gonna pick up my frog form and dash past the old lady.
okay, have Anubis make a dexterity check.
So the dog saved the frog?
Yeah.
Yes. He still knows it's me because he was there.
Now, Jezric doesn't know it because he's not familiar with the spell, But there's a really easy way to deal with someone in your party who's been frogged. Let's just stomp on them. You'll do enough damage to kill the frog form, and that banishes the spell.
That sounds like. Would Jazric know that?
Jazric wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Jazric wouldn't know it. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
That's not something Jazric would know, but it's. Yeah.
So I'll allow that. So technically, Honor, your normal telepathic control with Anubis is going to be really distorted right now because you are not yourself as a frog. You have kind of your personality, but you have only the frog's intelligence at the moment. Okay. But you probably would be able to look up at Anubis and communicate kind of the feeling of help me, help me. So that's why I'm allowing Anubis to do that. But you don't really have the ability to direct him in your normal way. But
so yeah. I'm saying he did this all on his own. I have really big froggy eyes and just look at him pathetically, and he just grabbed me and went.
Snack.
He's thinking, what? Timmy's down the well?
All right. It's now Lucian's turn, and he doesn't do anything. He is scared. Honor, it is now your turn again, which I think... Let me just see if you're allowed to repeat the saving throw. I don't think so. Nope. All right, so you're a frog.
Yep, I'm a frog. I say
you're
ribbit.
in Anubis's mouth, so yeah, I don't know that there's probably not much you can do.
Except wiggle out and jump to the ground.
Is that what you're doing?
On the upside, you've got really big cheeks now, and it's really solving the housefly problem.
The rest of you have just seen Anubis brush past Morgantha, come out the door, and apparently spit out a frog.
Why did you see a frog? There's lots of them back there.
There was a bunch of them in there, in a crate. All right. Ismark, also, you see him kind of take guard, and as it's obvious now that across the field from the forest, there is a group of 2 dire wolves and 4 regular-sized wolves that have raced out of the forest. And let me cover those. I'm trying to. What? My game is being very slow right now. All right, come on, wake up. There we go. We can do it. Oh, I see. I'm on the wrong layer for that. Yeah, it's moving very slow. Trying to let me do anything here. There we go.
I wonder if something is up with Roll20 servers today, because I was buffering a lot earlier. And it seems to have stopped, but it sounds like you're getting some speed problems now.
Alright. So now, you guys see that there's 2 dire wolves, which are wolves, bigger than a person in terms of, mass. And then 4 regular wolves racing out of the forest. And Ismark is, he's in preparation. You think that the wolves are going to reach them in their next turn. So let me... I'm only adding a turn for one of the wolves, but it's all of the wolves are going to act on that turn.
They're acting as a pack, all 15 of them.
Well, 6.
I count 15.
All right. For whatever reason that might happen.
Too much wine.
All right. So Jazric, it is your turn now.
I'm turning and running towards Ismark.
Okay.
Fast as I can.
All right. So if you're dashing.
Yep.
Yeah, then you can get to where they are. So you can kind of move yourself over to that other, that other spot if you want, or I'll move you. But over to where I've got the tokens for Ismark and Arena and Lucian, just because I'll have the map, the wolf combat happen in that area.
Okay.
All right. Julius.
Now, I'm having trouble telling from the map here. Approximately how many feet am I from the 4 people who are facing off against the wolves?
You are 50 yards.
50 yards. Oh, okay, shoot. Okay, so I'm out of range to cast Bless. All right. So we don't have anybody left inside the windmill. Everybody's out now, including the frog and the dog.
Well,
Honor's
you
both
don't
sides.
know that. You have
that's
not
right, that's
seen
right.
Honor come out. As far
right.
as you can tell, she's still in there.
Okay. Well, because my attitude is fighting evil, I guess I need to continue to combat the witches here.
So, also, what I'll just note too is I just said 50 yards, but you guys would not be able to dash 50 yards in 6 seconds. So, we'll say that they're closer because I don't want to disrupt how long it was going to take to get to them. Let's say that when they saw the wolves, you suspect they came closer to the windmill to where you guys were. So they are still essentially 2 turns worth of movement away, or 1 if you're dashing, not 50 yards. So I don't want to start establishing that you guys can dash 50 yards. All right. So, so what are you doing? What are your action? What's your action?
Trying to think of what might be effective against. It seems pointless to attack with a sword. They're batting away everything pretty easily.
Now, you have seen with the crossbow bolt, it did seem to damage her, but kind of the way someone just, like a little kid whacking you with a stick.
It was a flesh wound.
Yeah, it was an irritation. She does not look substantially wounded.
Yeah.
But it did have an impact.
I guess for lack of anything better right now, I will just move closer to the doorway to the windmill.
Okay.
So,
you're not going to even attack?
You know what? I'll attack with my longsword. I'll move up closer to the doorway so that I'm within melee range of what's her name, Morgantha.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so maybe here, and then I'll attack with my longsword. So let me get back here. Where's the freaking longsword? Yep, here we go.
All right, and I'll let you go ahead and make your attack. She just waves a hand and parries your sword with her hand.
Okay.
If you want, you can make a perception check to see if you can see Honor.
Okay, let's do that.
All right.
Not so much.
Morgantha is largely blocking the doorway right now, so you can't
Okay.
really
There
get a good
is
look.
no honor here.
All right.
You could almost say that she's been dishonored.
Aww.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be playing here all night.
All right. So, let's see here. All right. Okay. Shadow, your turn. What are you doing? You're still a bear. You're halfway. So in the normal turns of action, you can run to where Ismark and Arena and all them are now.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to unmute myself. No, I'm definitely going to continue over and get myself in front of the party of civilians over here.
Okay.
They're not here yet, though, right?
The wolves are on their way. They will arrive on their next turn.
Okay, then I will withhold my action, and once they arrive, I will attack.
Okay, you're going to attack the first one to come into range.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So Morgantha is in the doorway here. And she actually is looking out and sort of surveying, and she says, "Oh, look! You've brought the child to me! How thoughtful! Do go fetch him up, will you, Bella?" And also, while she's got you kind of right up in her face there, Julius, she is going to. Let's see, what is she going to do? She's going to cast. There. I don't know what that is. Make a. Well, actually, yeah, make a wisdom saving throw, Julius. Okay. Julius, you feel the magical energy kind of washing over your mind for a second, but then what you start to realize is this woman, this is the great evil that you were meant to fight, but you're no match for her. She is going to kill all of you, and your destiny will be completely ruined. And you find yourself, your whole body just flooding with terror. And you are officially frightened.
Does that mean I turn tail and run?
We'll basically what it means is, let's see, I'm going to use this to indicate that you are frightened. Let's see. What frightened means is that you are going to be at disadvantage anytime you try to attack her, and you cannot willingly move in her direction.
Okay.
You can move away, but not toward her, and any attack against her is at disadvantage.
By the way, you know, if I wanted to roll this badly, I could just use my own dice.
All right, so that's her turn, and then she's going to kind of just step a little further out of the doorway here. All right, Perry.
Oh dear, what have you gotten yourselves into? So she's moving a bit closer. Let's see. Let's see. Is it an action to turn to Anubis and ask for honoring?
No, I'll let you ask
Where's
the
your
question.
master?
Yeah.
Where's your master, dog? Where's your master?
I would imagine Anubis kind of looks down and sort of noses the frog on the ground and barks.
You've got to be kidding me. Let's see.
Do you do some sort of a froggy action, Anubis? Or Honor?
I hop. Very, very angrily. I am a pissed off frog.
Hops angrily.
Right. So yeah, you can still take an action if you want. Morgantha has actually just moved right up into your personal space here.
Into my grill, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it an action to sweep up the frog?
I will. Yeah, if you want to pick up the frog, I'll. That's going to be your action.
Okay, I'll pick up the frog.
Yeah, you don't have to
Very
roll
careful.
for it, but that'll be your action.
And then for my bonus, I'll once again take the flaming sphere and slam it into the back of this. I was going to say a nasty word.
she makes another dexterity check.
The word you're looking for is witch.
Yes.
Yeah. Or
Right,
hag,
right.
even is to be precise.
The terrible old hag.
Yeah. So she rolls a 13. What's
Okay,
your,
so she.
your DC?
It's a bit. What was my DC? I think it was 12.
Is it?
My DC is 12.
Okay.
So she takes half damage.
No, she rolled a 13.
Yes. She's safe.
Oh yeah,
Takes
yeah.
half
So
damage.
she takes half damage. Yes, my apologies. Yeah.
So I believe that is. Where are you? Ah, there we go.
All right. So once again, yeah, this ball of flame sort of bats against her from behind, and she kind of turns and just sort of like slaps at it, like, "Oh, shoot!"
And I'll start to move at me leisurely pace. That's. Leave the frog behind.
No, you picked up the frog as your action.
Oh, okay.
All right. Anubis gets to move on his own turn.
I know. I was trying to pick up Honor to take
Okay.
her with him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. All right. Okay. So this other witch comes down out of the doorway, looks down at you, Julius, who you're kind of a weepy mess right now, and she just kind of, ignores you.
And I'm okay with that.
Technically, this frightened effect that you have is really only for Morgantha. I mean, you could be rationally scared of another one of these witches, but at the same time, the magical effect doesn't apply to the others.
Okay.
Only to Morgantha. But she comes out, and she says, "Oh, where are you all going?" And let's see. She's gonna cast. Playing with all these cool other things. What's that? There's just so many cool spells. She is aiming at you, Perry. And
So she's attacking?
Yeah. Well, she is casting Ray of Sickness.
Sounds like an attack to me.
Yeah.
Is there an attack roll involved?
Yes.
Then I hold prominently my holy symbol, and I say, "Not today, ya hag." I use warding flare. It imposes
Ooh.
disadvantage on attack rolls.
Wording flare. Is that? Oh, that's right. That's your light domain thing, right?
That is.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not an
Okay.
attack roll.
Well. Okay. Yeah. See, when I just pulled up the thing, I thought it looked like it was saying make a ranged spell attack, but that's not the roll that it made.
Oh.
Let's
Well, in that
see.
case, fine.
Well, let me look up here because it seems like it's giving me contradictory information. Make a ranged attack roll. Oh no, that's still right. It's the DC is if she hits.
Oh.
So this is if she hits. So the roll that it did was not the ranged attack roll. So let me do that. So she'll now at disadvantage. 20. So that's one roll. Okay, so 13 is the disadvantage roll.
My AC is 13.
Okay, so she hits you. So now you have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this poison?
Yes.
And I have advantage. Because I'm a stout.
Yeah. Unfortunately, even with the advantage, is not
Well,
sufficient.
I also have resistance.
Yeah. So you would be taking 12 poison damage, but if with resistance, you're going to take 6.
I'm not that resistant. I mean, I've been drinking for years, but holy crow.
All right.
All right.
So
That was
did you-
unfortunate.
All right. We've got tokens on top of each other, so it's hard to follow where everything is. Okay. That was her turn. It is Irina's turn, and she is also looks like she's readying an action for when the wolves arrive. Anubis. Presumably Anubis is going to try to run to catch up with the rest of you, I'm guessing?
Actually, I think Anubis is going to try and drag Julius away.
Okay. To kind of go over and sort of like tug on his clothes.
To try and at least get him moving.
Okay. So How willing are you, Julius, to be dragged by this wolf?
Is there something I got to roll to determine that, or
Well,
is it just
if you're volunteering, then I will say it can happen without a roll. But if you feel like Julius would not be cooperative, then that's a different story.
Well, Julius is a puddle right now, so I'm thinking he's going to be cooperative.
Okay, so you're probably only going to get him about 5 feet this turn, Anubis, but you can certainly sort of convey the message that, it's like, come on, come on.
How long does this frightening spell last?
Well, we'll see what happens when it's your turn.
Oh, okay.
Because you are currently still terrified. All right. I'm trying to make sure I've got the. I keep scrolling back and forth trying to make sure I'm showing the right part of the map on the stream here. Okay. That's Anubis's turn then. Lucian continues to do nothing because he's a little kid.
My fire goes out.
The flaming sphere.
I did not make my concentration check.
Okay. Thank you for remembering to do that. Okay. Honor, you are currently being carried by Perry. Are you gonna are you gonna try to squirm out of his hands, or are you just being carried for now?
I think I'm just being carried for now.
Okay.
Because this is a lot higher off the ground than a frog is used to being.
Comparatively, you're moving very fast. Compared to everyone else, not so much.
All right. It is now the wolf's turn. So I'm going to say that the one of the dire wolves is sort of the first to arrive, so to speak. Let me.
So that's me.
Yeah. So it's you kind of put yourself right up front, and so before it'll even get to attack, you get to make your bear attacks because you were readying.
I get two, and I get 2 attacks. So I get to bite and I get to claw.
Yep. So you can go ahead and just do the manual rolls for that since you don't.
Yeah, I don't have a button, so.
Yeah. So what we can potentially do for the future is we can make you sort of a sub character sheet of you in bear form, you in whatever form, and use that. But for now, just do the manual rolls.
So this is for my bite.
Oh, nice.
And should I do my claws?
Well, so that's a hit. So go ahead and roll it first.
Roll my damage. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is 8d8. Hang on.
8d8? I don't think it's 8d8.
Am I wrong? Okay.
It's not 8d8. A d8. It might be 1d8. It's probably 1d8 plus something.
Hang on. Well, no, I do have a plus. Oh, no, you're right. You know what? I transcribed it wrong.
I thought at first you said 8d8.
Yeah, it was in the description, but then when I went down and I scrolled down.
So it should be a 1d8 plus 4 with a 1 roll, so that's going to be 5.
Yeah. Okay, I see what it is. All right. That gave me, I copied down what it is to hit.
Okay.
Because the instructions for bear is also for it as a monster, so So you bite this thing as it has charged towards you, and it takes 5 piercing damage. And you can also roll as a claw for your claws. Yeah. No, I'm using your 1d8 roll already, and just added the 4 to it manually. Did I do a d8 roll?
Yes, you had a 1d8 rolling 1d8, and you got.
Sorry,
a 1.
I was trying to change up the roll, and it rolled for me without me realizing it.
Yeah, well, and that's what I used. So it took 5 piercing damage from your bite, and you can use your claw attack now.
Okay, so now I'm going to do a claw attack. Hang on, and roll.
All right, nice.
Yeah, that's another hit.
This one, I get 2d6.
Yep, that's correct. 2d6 plus 4.
All right, so it's 2d6. Plus 4. Roll.
Oh man!
No, jeez.
3 1s run damage.
I know, but I still damaged because of my plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have given this direwolf something to think about between those two attacks. So let's see. It's, it is considerably warier than it was for a minute ago. I think largely because these things ran out of the woods seeing only Ismark, Irina, and Lucian. And all of a sudden, in addition to there being more people, there's also a bear.
Rawr.
But it is also now going to attack you.
Of course it is. And
Uh-huh.
bear form's not the best for that, but that's okay.
All right. So, and it's the first one, so it doesn't have the pack advantage yet.
Yep.
The pack tactics, but it is gonna try to bite you,
Yep.
and it gets. Oops, I'm gonna try to. It gets a critical hit.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, so you take 15 points of piercing damage from your bear form, which has, I think, 34.
Yeah, it's 34. So do I just change my stats here?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna do this.
Just keep track. I would say leave your human HP because that's the one that's more critical. Or here, I know what we can do. We can give you a second health bar. So the 19 in the little red circle is what you have left as a bear.
There's a second health bar.
It's not a bar, but if you click on your token, it should come up with a little red circle, a little green circle, and a blue circle.
Trying to. Come on. Why is my token not doing that? Ah, there we go. Ah, got it. All right.
Yeah. So I just put in that 19. That is your current bear hit points. Okay. And now you have two more wolves. One of them comes and is going to try to, flank you here. But before it can, we're going to have Ismark, who had readied an action, going to get to take a swing at it first. All right. So Ismark gets to make two longsword attacks. Try not to block the chat where the rolls are, so that I can see what he's just rolled. Rolls a 17 and a 12. So those are, the first one hits, the second one does not. And so that wolf takes six slashing damage, which is a significant wound to it. Before it can attack. But now it's going to attack you with advantage, Shadow, because it's got its direwolf buddy next to it.
Of course.
So that's a 13.
Okay.
Which I think hits for your bear. Your armor class 11, I think, is a bear.
Yep.
All right, so that hits. You're going to take another 10 piercing damage.
Oh, that was all right. I was taking 13 away. My bad.
Okay.
There we go. All right. So.
Okay. So I can adjust the little red circle if you want, or okay, got it. Good. Okay. And now we've got another wolf coming up, and it's going to try to flank you on the other side.
Oh, goody.
But I'm going to let Irina get her ready attack that way for that.
Mm-hmm.
Got all of these things pulling up. She has her rapier out. She's not quite as trained as Ismark, but does manage to roll an 18 and do 3 piercing damage to that wolf before it makes its attack. But now it is going to try to bite you again with advantage.
Really, it's gonna bite me, not Irina?
No, well, they were both trying to attack you, but you're the bear. You're the scary target that just, appeared. So they're trying to take you down first. But basically, it was them attempting to flank you that gave Irina and Ismark their opportunity. But
Gotcha.
so you're going to take another 7 piercing damage in your bear form, but you're still up in your bear form for now. So with the rest of those 3 occupied with you, Shadow, you have the other 2 kind of moving to surround as well. So one of them is going to attack Ismark, but is unable to connect. Another one comes up. He's going to try to attack Ismark now with advantage. Gets a critical hit, and Ismark takes 12 points of piercing damage. And he kind of gasps in pain. Oops, not 12. That's too much. 46. All right. So he kind of gasps in pain as the wolf sort of seizes his forearm for a moment.
Do we need him alive to use his soul?
Well, you might not want to risk it. And then this other direwolf is going to come up around, and he's circling around to some of you on the other side, basically trying to, get around to where he can surround you guys. And he'll attack you, Jasric.
Okay.
All right. And gets an 18.
That hits.
And
that takes me to 0.
Okay. So unfortunately, as Jasric has has already been weakened by the lightning bolt from Morgantha, this direwolf just comes up and just seizes him by the throat, and he falls unconscious. Also, I just remembered that I should have been giving. Okay.
Strength saves.
Yeah. For the wolves can kind of try to knock people prone. So, but we'll not retcon any of the previous attacks. But yeah, you just see that Jasric has just fallen unconscious
Gone down
under this direwolf's attack. All right. Ismark, his turn. He is going to again try to stab the wolf he injured already. And if I can get to where his attacks are. Let's see. And he looks like he gets a 7, which misses for the first slash, but then connects with his second slash, does 8 damage, and he kills that wolf.
Yay. 1 down.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so he kills that wolf on his turn, and he says, "They're trying to surround us." Jasric, it's your turn, so make your first death saving throw. Ah, and that's a success. So, you are 1 step closer to stabilizing.
Okay.
Next, Julius, you are still currently terrified, being tugged away from the witches by Anubis at the moment.
Okay, let's see. But I'm still at this point pretty close to the witches.
Yeah, you're just right immediately in range of them at the moment. But currently, at least the one of them is literally just the most terrifying thing you've ever seen. And I mean, you feel like you have failed your god at the moment.
Oh, clearly, yeah. All right. So I'm terrified of the one, but I'm not so terrified that I couldn't attack the other.
Yeah, you could. If you want to say you're kind of.
So I could lash out. I mean, I'm at this point I'm panicking. I feel like I got to do something. So yeah, I'm going to attack the other witch with the longsword.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Let me get my sheet back up here, and this is where having multiple monitors would come in handy.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Okay, so yeah, that's a hit. So go ahead and roll the damage. Your attack. You're moving to what? Like here?
Oh, so that's not what I meant to do.
So
Oh.
click in the chat window. Click
Mhm.
the word longsword.
Oh, okay. So I clicked on the damage on my sheet. That's why I rolled it a second time. All right.
All right. So you do connect, and you tear a gash in this thing's gown, but it doesn't feel like flesh when you hit it. So you do you do cut her, but it's just her flesh feels rigid like wood almost.
Huh.
So you definitely get the sense that you have not hurt her as much as you would have expected.
Is this like in Blazing Saddles where they say don't shoot him, you just make him mad?
Well, they seem like they're already mad, so I don't know if you've made it worse exactly, but you certainly didn't hurt them as much as you had hoped. But
Okay.
but here's what's going to happen too. You feel this terror welling up in your mind, and I need you to make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God. All right, here we go.
Okay. You find that this terror is starting to overwhelm you,
Okay.
and you are going to take 27 points of psychic damage,
Holy crap!
which
Okay.
unfortunately I believe drops you unconscious.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
Because I only had 24.
Well then.
Well, that was a short campaign.
Hey, by the way, you know what I'm
Yeah.
thinking here? That next time somebody tells us to not go into the windmill, maybe we should listen to them?
Listen to your spirit crow.
It'd be nice if somebody told us not to go there, like maybe a raven, or maybe me.
Wasn't there at least one other person that said don't go there?
Oh yeah, the old lady that read our fortunes.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually the other Vistani, but yeah.
Oh right.
I believe the
that.
phrase was at all costs. So now we know what the costs are.
Yeah. Hang on, I just was moving
No.
some tokens around. Because here's the next thing that happens now. Those of you who are over by Ismark and Irina and Lucian suddenly hear a evil cackle right up next to you, and suddenly out of thin air appears another one of these witches. Let's see if I can make her appear like she needs to. Yeah, there she goes. And she appears basically right by Lucian and says, "Oh, look, just what we needed for tomorrow's batch." But she doesn't, that's her action for this turn, is to show up like she just did. Shadow, you're almost down probably in your
Yep.
beast form, but your bear form, but it's your turn.
Yep. And I'm going to use the last bits of my bear form to work at this. The big dire wolf that first attacked me is still the closest. Okay. So I am going to bite.
All right. Yeah,
That's a
that
hit.
hit. That's a hit.
And I am going to. There's the damage.
Oh,
Okay.
good. There, see, that's a little better.
That balances
That is
things
a
out a
little
little bit.
And how's he doing now?
Let me just a second. Let me get to him. Here. That is. He is. He is definitely reeling and bleeding now.
Okay. And then I will claw.
That's a hit too.
Yep, that's a hit. And then the damage is this. Dang!
Shouldn't that one have been 2d6?
Oh, I'm sorry. I clicked the wrong one. My bad.
That's all right.
That's better.
Oh, there you go. Another 14.
Wasted the bad roll on the wrong roll.
And with that claw attack, you
Yes.
rip out this direwolf's throat.
Aha! Excellent. Snarl.
Yeah. And it collapses to the ground, bleeding out. All right, so those are your attacks, but you're still kind of surrounded.
Yep. Oh, I expect to be cut down.
All right,
Well, no, she's actually not surrounded because there's only one next to her right now.
that's
Yeah,
true,
that's true.
because the other one that was on your side was killed by Ismark. So you,
Yes, and the bodies are between me and the other,
yeah. So you really only have the one wolf
Yep.
directly in range right now.
which I think Arena gets to next.
Well, if it's her turn next, but so yeah, so that's your turn. You're not going to try to move or anything.
Oh, no. I think I'm good where I am.
Okay.
Oh.
Baron, don't forget you just heard one of these witches appear.
That's true. There is one right next to Lucian,
Yeah.
but
So are you staying where you are? You can move is all you can do. this
yeah, I
turn.
know.
But if
If
you
I
move, the wolf
move-
will get an opportunity attack.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and then Arena's by herself. I'd rather draw the ire of that wolf on me than on Arena, because what's going to happen to me is I'm just going to go back to elf form.
Yep.
I'm not going to die, so
All right. So not moving then.
not moving. Yes.
All right. Next is Morgantha's turn, and she looks down at Julius, unconscious, but also sees Anubis there, looking alarmed. And what she is actually going to do is, let's see.
I have a question.
Sure.
What has the flaming sphere running across the stuff in the bottom of the tower had any effect? It's been several
Well,
rounds.
none of you can see inside, but I will say that you can. Those of you who want to check can see if there's like smoke or something.
Those of you who are currently
I'm just
dead.
It would be an excuse for a hack to leave the battlefield. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, that's a fair thing to remind me that's happening. But what's going to happen is she looks down at Anubis, and all of a sudden her shape starts to change. And where is I don't have the token to show what she looks like in this other form, but I will hold it up to the camera. She looks. Let me make sure I can see what I'm showing you. She looks like this. Her skin turns blue. She gets like 8 feet tall.
A little bit lower.
Lower it down.
Okay.
Lower.
Okay, hang on just a second. Give me
Sorry.
a freaking second.
I thought you had.
Okay, so that's the best I can do, you guys. So
We're just seeing the words night hag.
okay.
Yeah, we can see text.
Oh right, I keep forgetting that you guys are seeing a different camera than what's going on the stream. So okay.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
better. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's pretty
So,
bad. That's pretty bad.
She basically suddenly transforms into that shape, and I can't make the token do that, but turns into that shape, and just looking down at Anubis goes, "Boo!"
And Anubis does nothing. Because that looks like his master's mother.
That's pretty funny.
All right, that is her turn. Perry, you're up. Things are not going well right now.
No, and in times of trouble and times of strife, I turn back as I always do to the light of the thunder. And within myself in this small form, I take that bit of faith that I've worked on over time, and I crunch it into a small ball of hope, and I let the ball warm me up from the inside. And I hope that everything bad is within 30 feet. Here's my Hail Mary. I use Channel Divinity, Radiance of the Dawn. A ball of light opens from within me, expands out to flash over 30 feet within range of me. Magical darkness is dispelled, but we're not worried about that. All hostile creatures, though, within 30 feet, make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed saving throw, it'll take 2d10 plus 3 damage.
Holy crap!
Nice.
Oh, roll away.
Or unsuccessful. Unfailed, yes. Unsuccessful, it's half of that.
All right. So.
So I'm not going to say those of us who are dying, but hey.
Right. Okay.
I might
So
save the rest of us from joining you.
with your you were halfway to back to where they were, so I'll say you made your way closer to them first.
I didn't know what the scale was on there. So.
Yeah. So right now, where we had your tokens is that you are not to where. So if you want to attack where the wolves are, then that's one choice. If you wanted to attack where Julius and the other two witches are, that's a different choice.
Oh, okay. I was hoping the map was representational.
No,
Nope.
sorry. So all of the wolves and where everybody else is and the one witch are all in one place.
So we've got 3 wolves, a dire wolf, and a witch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
And one of your
will be
friends
good.
down there, so that's probably not a terrible plan. But you are also leaving Anubis and Julius behind.
Well, there's nothing I can do for Julius at the moment. Brother as he is, and Anubis can run. I hope. And I have a frog with me, so.
Yeah.
So yes, I'll move into
All
the wolf
Okay.
group.
So the 3 wolves are gonna each make their Constitution saving throws, and it looks like 2 of them fail and one of them succeeds. So go ahead and roll the damage for it.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that the 2 wolves that fail include this one that was already wounded. And that one is burned. It just this radiant light exudes from Perry and just incinerates 2 of these wolves. And they take half damage otherwise, is that right?
If
Or
they
no?
fail, yeah. So 11 damage. Yep.
Okay. And it incinerates all 3 of the smaller wolves. They're all
Nice.
gone. So let's see about the dire wolf. Gets a 17, so I think it succeeds, but it does still take. It gets singed.
And this is radiant damage, if that makes a difference.
It doesn't for the wolves. But let's look at our
Hag.
at our hag here. Yeah. I've got too many of these little windows open. There we go. Okay, this is going to show in the roll that it's Morgantha making the roll, but it's actually this other witch. Let's see. They get advantage on saving throws against spells. So her Constitution saving throw is with advantage.
Is it a spell? It's actually channel divinity.
Oh, well, spells and other magical effects.
Yep.
So I think it would be in this case. All right. So 14 is
Half damage then.
half damage, and you also see, as you had with the flaming sphere before, that fire doesn't seem to pack quite the same punch.
It's radiant, not fire.
Oh, you're right. It is radiant, and I don't think radiant is. I don't think they're resistant to radiant damage. I would be really surprised if these fiends are resistant to radiant damage. They're not vulnerable to it, but they are not resistant. And so she does take the full, the full half damage. And she actually shrieks as this radiant fire kind of flickers all over her. Ah! She doesn't look anywhere near taken down, but that did hurt. Might have now made her mad. But well done. You've
Changed the battlefield
odds quite a
considerably.
bit. Yeah. Let me make. All right. It is now this other witch who is by over here by Morgantha, and she's going to cast magic missile at Anubis. Anubis takes 11 points of force damage as these 3 darts of magical force energy seek out from her hand and just collide with Anubis's form here.
Okay. That's 11 points.
Yeah, 11 points of damage. I was about to change it myself, but it's for Anubis. Yeah. All right. Next is Irina, who just her eyes go wide as this wolf that she was about to stab is just incinerated. And she looks around and kind of gives you a look of respect and appreciation, Perry. And then she sees Jazric down and kind of moves to like stand over him and try to face down this dire wolf that's standing over him. And so she is going to try to stab it with her rapier. And she gets an 11, which unfortunately it ducks out of the way of her sword. Anubis's turn.
So Anubis is pretty freaked out, and so he's going to run over to where my froggy shape is, because Julius is flat out on the ground. There's nothing he can do for that.
Yeah.
So he's just going to run.
I will say that if he did want to try to drag Julius's unconscious form, he could do that at half speed.
One note, I see off air on my screen. Is that right? Just want to make sure.
Yes, yeah, because I'm streaming to Twitch with a different piece of software, not using the Hangout. But I mean, thanks for the note. But I'm like just in case. But yeah, I'm doing it a different way. So.
Yeah. So how far could he get at half speed?
Basically 3 squares away, and it would be a few turns away from, but like if you get the feeling that if they were to pursue, they on their next turn they could catch up.
Right.
But they also have ranged spells, so
it's not going to do much good
so
anyway.
I just wanted to let you know that was an option. It's still up to you what you want Anubis to do. If you think Anubis would try to return to Honor's frog, then that's legit too.
Yeah, I think he would.
All right.
Because the packmate has fallen. Unfortunately, there's not much a wolf can do to try and help heal.
Yeah. So Lucian, his turn now. He is cowering in terror at this witch standing over him, and he's screaming. Honor, it's up to you again, but you're still a frog.
I'm still a frog. I am going to try and bash my little froggy hand or head against this witch that is standing over me. Like I said, I'm pissed.
All right. I'm trying to think if the frog actually even has like an attack action. Let me look it up.
I would be surprised if it did.
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
no. You can like jump on its on the witch's face or something. If you want to try that, I'll let you.
Yeah.
It can technically attack, but it may not do more than 1 point of damage.
It literally does not even have an attack action.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to get her to stomp on me, put me out of my misery or something.
Okay, so yeah, try to If
it says it can jump 10 feet high, so it could jump onto her face.
Yeah, I will let you jump onto the witch's face if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, let me jump on the witch's face.
All right, yeah. So I'll say you just do that. You squirm out of Perry's grasp and just jump right onto her face, and she's like, ah! Yeah! That's what she is. That's what she's. Okay. All right.
And you've got those froggy grippy fingers, so you can hold on.
Yeah. All right, it is the direwolf's turn, and Irina just tried to stab it, so it's going to try to bite her. Oops, I didn't. That was don't ignore that.
Yikes!
Nightmare haunting thing. Don't look at that. You don't know they can do that. It's attacking Irina. But it rolls a 9, and with her breastplate, she's able to, its teeth do not pierce the armor that she is wearing, and it no longer has any of its pack to help it out. And in fact, actually, as As it fails to bite her, I think it's considering a retreat here, so it's going to try to run. But both Irina and Ismark are going to get opportunity attacks. Oh, and that's a crit, and boy, for an opportunity attack, doing 14 damage. Let's see, so that's 12, and then Irina gets her her opportunity attack. Also hits, and just not quite kills it all the way. It's this thing is on it's extremely wounded. It's just dripping blood and whimpering as it tries to run back into the forest, and so it makes it 40 feet, I think. 50 feet away as it's running away. All right. Ismark's turn. He is not going to pursue the wolf. Instead, he is turning on this witch who is standing over Lucian, and he's going to try to attack her. All right. Okay. Let's see. Too many little windows open. And
This is on again.
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So yeah, he's attacking her with his longsword. And in fact, actually, he draws a short sword so that he's got his longsword in one hand and a short sword in the other. And he gets to make 2 attacks with the longsword and then 1 with the short sword.
Whoa.
Okay, so the 7 misses, the 9 misses. So unfortunately, he misses both slashes with the short sword, with the long sword, but the short sword connects, she takes what would be 4 damage, but doesn't seem to. She's actually kind of distracted at the moment because she's got a frog on her face.
Would that be enough to give advantage?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
In that case,
I buy that.
the other 2 attacks would hit.
Yes, you're right, and I will allow that. That makes sense. That
Good frog.
she's distracted by having a frog on her face, and so okay, so both of those hit then. So that's another 11 worth of normal damage that she's going to take half of. So that is 94. She's feeling these strikes and struggling with the frog, and she's getting really irritated about it. Jazric, make another death saving throw. All right, another 15. It's 2 successes so far, so you're getting close to being stable. But you guys are also still in a bad situation. The wolves are dealt with, but...
Yeah.
All right, Julius, make a death saving throw.
Is he here?
I don't know. We got looks like a view of his shoulder on the video.
Yeah, I don't have them at all.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
he's not on my
shift
video.
around. Oh, when did that happen?
Saw he
Recently.
was in and out a couple of times.
Yeah, it keeps coming in and out.
Okay. All right.
We can have him make that save when he comes back.
Or I will make it on his behalf. Right now. Troubleshooting my network connection, he says. So I will make have Julius make the. I will click it on his character sheet for him. And that's a 12, so that is a success. Okay, I'm texting back. Okay. All right. So it is this witch's turn first, and she seizes you as a frog on her, and just in her frustration, she just throws you down onto the ground, which you take 1d6 of falling damage from being thrown onto the ground. And that's 6. She throws you really hard because she's strong. And that actually breaks the polymorph, because as your froggy form is destroyed, it breaks the spell. And so you're no longer a frog. And then as she sees you sort of pop back into your tiefling form, she kind of just... She rolls her eyes and says, "Oh, Mother's never going to let me hear the end of that one." And then, from over at the windmill, which is, like as we established, like 60 feet away, Morgantha is like, "You idiot!"
One note that might save us a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a concentration spell, and I believe she did take damage a couple of times, so she might have failed a concentration check. But it doesn't matter now, but something to keep in mind.
I'm fine with that piece of fiction. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. But if she does it again,
yes, I will try to remember in the future, because I think that that is now the last of the concentration spells that were active.
Okay.
By my understanding, it was the other of the hags that had cast that polymorph spell.
Yeah.
Which I had damaged.
No. The one that turned visible in our midst is not the one that cast the polymorph.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the other one that I had hit the fire was the one that had done the polymorphing, I think.
No, you hit the same one.
No, actually, no, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, something to keep in mind, though, that spellcasters need to concentrate.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll try to remember that for the future. But right now, I think there are no active concentration spells in play now that the polymorph has been broken.
Welcome back to the world, Honor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's use one of those status icons for concentration.
Good idea.
We'll designate one.
Yeah, when someone has cast a concentration spell, to say that they're concentrating on it. That's a good idea. All right. So that is her turn. Shadow, you've got a little bit more bear left in you, I think.
Yes, I do.
But also, Irina is currently standing over Jastric's unconscious form.
Right.
And you've still got one of these witches sort of in your midst. And you probably would notice over that Julius is lying unconscious over by the windmill.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do for them in bear form.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to come over. I don't want to be on top of people, so I'm going to move my token probably a little further than I normally would go, but that's just so that I'm not on top of anybody else.
Okay.
And I am dashing over to the this witch here, and I am going to bite and claw.
Okay.
All right, let me open up my dice here. So, so this is bite.
She just sidesteps your snapping jaws.
And I claw, and I'm still out of breath. I just did it way too soon. I was so excited to be here, and I just kind of miss her both times.
The tongue's lolling out the side of the mouth.
I'm also a little confused because there was a frog, and now it's gone.
Aren't we all?
Morgantha, from the windmill, moves a little closer. She's not moving all the way. She yells out and just says, "Beliad, stop messing around and bring that child!" And she is going to cast another ray of sickness at I'm gonna say at you as a bear, just because you're big and scary. So let's that's a ranged spell attack, so gets a 10. So it looks like she actually misses with her ray of sickness. Rat!
I am a stout bear.
All right, that is her turn. Perry, you're up again.
Oh dear. All right. Where is Jazric from me?
He is
right next to you.
Irina's token is over his at the moment.
All right. So I can reach him. So I will reach him.
Yeah.
and I'll bend down and say, "You silly fool! Stop lying around on the job." Passed. Let's see. Well, I only have that level 1 spell left anyway, so let's do a level 1 Cure Wounds. There, just enough.
So, yes, Jazric, as the divine warmth emanates from Perry's hand, you find yourself awake, still laying on the ground, but not yet at death's door.
And I'll draw my mace.
All right. So, Cure Wounds is an action, I think, right? So you're just preparing for next time?
Yep.
All right. So this other witch here, too, is just saying... She kind of sniffs and goes, "Mother, do you smell something?" Oh! And she turns and runs back into the windmill. And that is her turn. It is Irina's turn, and she is coming over to, first of all, I'm going to say, instead of attacking, her action is to try to shove Lucian out of range of this witch and get herself in switch places with him, essentially. And so that's her action, is to kind of shove him out of the way.
It's an ancient Barovian dance called Do-Si-Do.
Yeah. All right, Anubis.
Anubis is... He's gonna try and bite the witch. The witch that's threatening Lucian.
Okay. Yep.
So,
unfortunately, as he chomps down on the leg, he can't. His teeth don't manage to penetrate her tough skin, and so she doesn't take damage. And I think she only makes that saving throw if it's a hit.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, so unfortunately he's not able to damage her, but... Oh, wait, no, I take it back. No, okay, still no. I was going to say, she is definitely surrounded, so Anubis would get the pack tactics advantage, but 16 is still not high enough.
okay.
All right. Lucian is still just hiding behind Irina at this point. But Honor, it is up to you. You are now restored to your tiefling form, your normal tiefling form.
Okay. Now, I've been trying to think what I can do.
You remember Julius is still unconscious over by the windmill.
Okay.
Yes, don't forget me.
Oh, you're back! Great.
Yeah, I had to restart the computer, and then finally I changed browsers. So
Okay.
right now I'm in Chrome, and nothing's buffering, so hopefully that'll solve the problem.
Go ahead and mark on your character sheet that you have one successful death saving throw so far.
Oh, cool. All right.
Okay.
Yep, I got to get back into Roll20 here.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to... my heavy crossbow didn't do anything. Hellish Rebuke is not... It's only if she tries to attack me.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything that anybody else hasn't tried before.
No.
So I'm going to run back and try to grab Lucius.
Okay. It's gonna. Are you dashing to get there in one turn?
Yes.
Okay. So you won't be able to do anything there, but you can make it back to where he is. Julius, not Lucius.
Yeah, Lucius. Julius. Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
dash back to and you manage to reach Julius's unconscious form, and that's the end of your turn there. The direwolf has escaped into the woods.
It escaped. Yes, that's one way to put it.
Yeah. It is Ismark's turn, and he's going to continue to just wail on this witch to the extent that he can. She's
Nice.
no longer distracted, though. but still, both of those longsword strikes are hits, and so she takes 10 total damage because she's taking half of those 2 10 damage slashes. And so she actually kind of shrieks and hisses, just like, "Ah! Stop it! Stop it!" All right. Jasric, you are conscious again.
I scoop up my dropped weapons in one hand, grab Lucius in the other, saying, "Not again! Never again!" Scoop him up and run like hell.
Okay, just like which direction, or like where the back towards the road, or
Back down towards the road.
okay. All right. So I'll say that the action was grabbing him, but he's small enough compared to you that you're not moving at half speed to carry him.
Okay.
So we'll say you have started running back towards the road then. Okay. Julius, make another death saving throw.
Okay, hang on 1 second here. Just getting back to my character sheet. Roll20 was still loading really slowly on my machine, but at least the sound isn't buffering anymore.
Well, good.
I'm sorry, what saving throw? A dex?
Death saving throw. So
It's on your sheet. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Its own thing.
Yeah.
I list of saving throws, I don't see a death saving
No,
throw.
it's a separate thing in the middle column.
Oh.
Above your weapons, there's death saves.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And
Oh!
so that's a failure. So you have 1 success and 1 failure.
Okay.
If you accumulate 3 failures, you die. If you accumulate 3 successes, you stabilize. You're
Nat
still
1 counts as
unconscious.
2
but-
failures. Nat 20 gives instant up and 1 hit point. Yes or no?
Okay.
All right. So the
So 1 success, 1 failure. All right.
yep. So now it's the witch's turn that's kind of surrounded here, and she's taken a few hits by now, and she's just saying, "Ah, you people are the worst." But she is going to cast. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think I know what she's going to cast. Let me make sure I know how this works.
Surrounded, otherwise known as a target-rich environment.
I can't type on my thing where I'm looking it up how it works. Okay, so you see her eyes, so that were already kind of yellow and bloodshot, but suddenly her eyes go wide and just become completely black, like an inky void. And she turns to Ismark, who is the last to attack her, and he's going to have to make a wisdom saving throw, which he fails. Let's see. And she just says, "Why don't you take a nap?" And he just instantly goes unconscious. He just collapses down asleep. I'm trying to find it. There doesn't seem to be. This is asleep. Yeah. So
Okay.
Ismark has just fallen asleep. Her eyes are remaining an inky void. And Morgantha yells out, "Stop taking up the good spells!" Shadow.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to again attack, bite and claw at this witch.
All right.
All right, and we're going to not get it with the bite, and not get it with the claws.
Oh dear. Yeah,
So
unfortunately, yeah, she kind of just evades both of those. Just looks down at you. All right. It is Morgantha's turn, and she, I think, has only just sort of realized that there appears to be a fire inside the windmill, and she just kind of says, "Oh, let them go. They've learned their lesson." We'll deal with them more later, you know. And so she actually is just going to start to go back inside. You can make an opportunity attack if you want, Honor.
Okay.
I think it actually has to be a melee attack, though.
I do have a short sword equipped.
Yeah, so I think you have to attack with that.
Yeah,
That's fine.
there's a feat that allows spell casting as reactions.
Yeah, or ranged, because she has a heavy crossbow. But yeah, you do manage to hit her as she turns around to leave. So go ahead and roll your damage. 6. Yeah, so she takes another 3 damage, which is not that much, but she kind of looks back at you with irritation and says, "I just said I would let you go. Are you trying to convince me otherwise?" But she goes ahead and moves inside. All right, Perry.
Suddenly realizing we might survive this. Oh, brother, I'm running towards you. So I take off sprinting towards Julius.
All right.
But I get sure.
Yeah, so you can, like I said before, you can get to him, but not have your. That's your action. All right. Another one of the witch's turns, but she's inside, presumably trying to put out the fire. Irina, worried about her brother, starts trying to shake him awake, and he blinks his eyes open, just like, what is happening? And so she successfully wakes him up, but that's her action. Anubis.
He's gonna stick with honor. Okay. That frog thing really freaked him out a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's gonna run back to her.
All right. So he catches up to her, probably nuzzling like, "I like you better not as a frog." Lucian is currently in Jastric's arms, and you guys are, he's hugging you tight and just crying. All right, Honor, it is now your turn. Morgantha and the second witch have just gone back inside. There's still one more back with the others, but Julius is still unconscious at your feet.
Okay. Can I cast Cure Wounds on him?
You can. Go ahead and do that.
Okay.
If that's what you like.
Yeah. Cure level 1.
All right. So, Julius,
yes.
You find you regain 6 points, and you gasp yourself awake, and you realize that this terror, this existential fear that you felt, that literally took your life away, has passed, and you recognize now that you were under a magical influence.
Oh, okay. So do I add that to the sheet manually, or is that?
Yeah.
The 6 points. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, but you are once again.
So at least, am I sitting up, or at least laying down?
Yeah, you were laying down, unconscious, but you can sit up on your turn.
Okay.
All right. Ismark, who was just asleep, kind of sits up and scrambles to his feet to try to continue attacking the one witch that is still there. I'm going to say he only gets no, I guess it's movement to stand up, so he gets his full attacks. Okay, but unfortunately, let's see, he misses once, gets a crit on another, and then misses again. So she takes another 4 damage. And she's kind of, growling in disgust. Jastrick.
I am looking. Well, the forest isn't safe, but I'm looking for any kind of cover from, even if it's just around a bend in the.
Yeah, you do realize that as much as you wanted to get away from the windmill, you are now running off. You're still very hurt yourself. You're carrying this kid, and you guys are running off by yourselves.
I'm staying on the road.
Okay. So, but you're just continuing to flee, but on the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's a rock or a log or anything to duck behind, I'll do that. But,
Okay. Yeah, you don't really see anything on the road. I mean, there's
Okay.
places where if you were to leave the road, but
yeah. So okay, then I'm just running down the road.
all right. Julius, you're conscious again. You're at the base of this windmill. You don't see either of those other two witches at the moment, but there's the other one kind of off in the distance.
Yeah, and looks like she is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares away from me, so that's, what, 25 feet?
Well, what we've been establishing is that it's kind of a different region. We're not
Oh,
representational on the map. So basically, if you're using your full movement speed and dash action, you can get there in one turn, but then you'll have used your action. Or
Okay.
you can take 2 turns and have actions both times to get to where the others are.
Well, first thing I'm going to do is stand up.
Okay, yeah, and that actually takes half your movement speed for the first turn.
Okay. And then I'll start moving toward the other witch.
Okay.
So,
Yep. So you're moving in that direction, but it's gonna
Yep.
take you another turn to get there.
okay, maybe what, there, or is it, or here?
We can just know where you are. Like I said,
Okay.
it's they're considered to be like in a different pane. Like don't.
I see.
Like,
Okay.
You are not next to this witch now.
Okay.
That just because that's where you are on the map. I just don't have a separate map for this area that's supposed to be 50 feet away.
Okay. So I'm just headed in the general direction.
Yep. All right. The witch that has been, standing in the middle of this, kind of just turns and sees that both, like her sister and her mother, have just gone back into the windmill, and there's still other, smoke coming from the windows instead of just the chimney. She's just like, "What? Well, fine then. I don't care anyway." And then she disappears. So, Shadow, it is your turn now. But you don't see any enemies currently on the field. The one that you were kind of facing off with has just vanished.
Okay, so and Lucian is safe?
Jasric ran off with him.
Okay.
If you look down the road, you can see he's
Yeah.
still visible, but he's another like 120 feet away.
So all the witches are gone.
Killed all but one of the wolves, and that one escaped.
All but one. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about him. The witches are in the house. Now I just want to burn the house down. I don't think there's anything else that I can do as a bear. So I'm going to transform back into an elf.
Okay.
So that means I'm going to get rid of my temporary hit points. And just give me
I removed
one.
the little indicator.
Okay, good. And so the windmill, it's all stone on the outside. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Trying to see what I can do. Hang on.
All in favor of cutting our losses?
Yeah.
Say aye.
I'm actually well, because I have torches and I have things to light, and I'm trying to see, do I have? I'm wondering if I would have any oil or anything. I want to just do a ring of fire around this place and leave. But I don't know that we have anything that's going to create a ring of fire. I mean, yeah. Is there anything like? Do I see anything flammable outside of the mill?
No.
No.
I mean, it's like there's grass, but not anything that's going to create a significant flame.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's like platform. You know, if you look at this picture of the mill, there's
Mhm.
there's sort of a wooden platform. 8 feet or so off the ground.
Yeah.
That's not going to have any effect on the inside. I think speaking as a player rather than in character, you've probably done as much as you can.
Yep. So I'm going to urge Ismark and Arena to and all other parties. All right, we need to leave. We need to get a safe distance away from here. You two first. Other party members, please come. Let's go. We're leaving. And I start to head with the urging, behind Ismark and Arena towards the road, following Jesric and Lucian.
Is everybody on board with that plan? Is there anyone who is going to try to want to do more at the windmill here before you flee?
No.
I will limp away, licking my
Okay.
losses, vowing to return.
Well, so you guys, the witches are apparently more concerned with putting out the flames from inside to minimize the damage from that than they are in pursuing you at this time. So you are all able to make your way down to where Jastric is probably waiting with Lucian.
And we have been viewed each session by somebody named Mother Dragon on Twitch.
Oh, great.
And they comment throughout. But my favorite comment lately is, latest survival technique: annoy your mobs till they let you go.
Yeah. So all of you, I'm going to have us move back to the Barovia map. Which is, again, as I've previously mentioned, there's a little bit of a weird quirk where, it doesn't let me move it as far as I want it to with the scrolling. So I have to temporarily put you on a map that's not where you are, and do that a couple of times while I move it back over to this world map of Barovia. All right, so you guys have made your way down back away from the windmill, and what I'll say also too, as you're making your way down the hill, you see in the sky all of a sudden what looks like 5 or 6 ravens flying together that sort of circle over you a little bit and then fly away again, and they seem to be heading, when they fly away again, they head to the northwest. And as you're leaving, we definitely have Ismark and Irina kind of just looking to each other and saying, "That was alarmingly close. I'm glad we were all able to make it out of that." And Irina's just saying, "It's so horrible. Those horrible women. What they were doing."
Jazric is ignoring the rest of the party. He's got he's set Lucian down, kind of cleaned off his face, and he's asking him, "Are you all right? Are you hurt?"
He kind of he's still sort of a little scared, but he's like, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you."
And Jazric gives him a big hug, and looks to, and then notices everybody else around,
Lucian
And,
hugs you back.
and stands up, and it looks like he might have something to say, but he doesn't say it.
Julius is just kind of disgusted with himself for falling under that spell. Also looking for a place where I could maybe wash my robes.
All right. So as you guys
So, wait, before we go on, who needs healing? Who can give healing? Where is everybody standing?
I am down 18 points.
Yeah, I used my last spot, my last spell slot, healing Lucian. Julius. So, but otherwise I'm fine.
And we have to wait for Mark to type because for some reason his voice isn't working.
I don't think I didn't do anything to the hangout on so I mean I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I mean not that I can tell, Mark. I don't see anything on my end that would be muting you. So hopefully we can sort that out. But one thing I will also tell you is that as of the completion of that encounter, congratulations everybody on surviving that. Because it was not a guarantee. You guys saw how close it was with a couple of times. So, but the and not only that, but you got the feeling like those witches were more concerned with preserving their stuff than they were with really trying to kill you. So bear that in mind if you ever want to go back after them at some point. But I am going to say now, as of the completion of that encounter, you guys have all become level 4.
Yes.
I could use the extra hit points at the very least.
What do we get at level 4?
What I'll say is that what makes sense to me is that you guys need to get a night's sleep though before you get the effects of being level 4.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But you will be level 4 next time you complete a long rest. And so you each get a variety of different things, but I think level 4, the biggest thing that most of you get is ability score increase, which means that you can either select a feat, which is kind of a specialized thing, or you can add 2 points to your any 2 of your ability scores. So like 1 each to 2 different scores, or 2 points to 1 score.
Oh, that's more than I expected. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still not figuring out what's going on with your mic, Mark. Unfortunately, is there some can you switch it to use the camera one even if the audio is not as good? Okay.
I was gonna say I was just gonna suggest what he's doing right now. He's signing out and then signing back in.
Alas, hopefully that will work. I just realized that before, Tim, when you dropped out and I thought we had a view of your shoulder, it's actually my shoulder. Just because the way the stream is set up is that it's trying to pull your little thumbnails from the Hangout and put you each on a little thing. Mark, we see you?
Can you hear me now?
Yay, there you
are.
Yay!
There's all kinds of RP I wanted to do, and it was all like, hey, why is nobody responding to me? Oh.
Okay. Well, no, you can still do it. So you guys, I'm saying you have just now sort of collected, you've kind of got yourself to back to sort of the where you took that little road spur up to the windmill. You've gone back down that hill, back to the main road, and nothing seems to be pursuing you at this time.
Mother Dragon congratulated us all on attaining the next level.
Hey!
I do want to catch up to Julius and then Jazric was what I was saying before, each individually. Grab Julius by the waistcoat, I guess. Haul him down to my level.
It's okay. So I drop into a crouching position.
You had me scared, brother. You were on the ground and you weren't breathing. I wasn't quite fast enough to get to you. And I slap him across the face and cast Cure Wounds.
So first you create.
Never do that to me again.
Do you accept the slap, Julius?
I say ow, but yes, I accept it.
All right. I just mean as opposed to trying to stop him from slapping you.
No. I do not try to stop him.
Okay. Yep. All right.
That's what's carrying me in a very long day.
You gain your 8 hit points.
Okay.
And Jazric is probably over by the kid, Lucian.
Yep.
And as for you, Jazric, is the boy all right?
He's fine. He's fine.
Good for you. And I kick him in the shin. And cast
Oh, and another cure wounds. Okay, so that's nine for you, Jasric.
Okay, that's
Now, let's all walk in the light of the thunder and get the hell off this road to someplace more civilized. With a little bit more libations.
For once, I agree with you. Let's go.
Translation: Perry needs a drink.
Damn straight.
And the faster, the better.
All right. So as you guys get back on the road, you are descending now into the valley. This valley that you saw that had the lake and the walled city. That you stop being able to see the city as you descend because the woods become once again in between. And then on the far side of the lake, there are more mountains in that direction. And I'm just looking to see if there's any light.
Question. You said we go to level 4. Is there any immediate effects or?
I'm gonna say we're gonna say no immediate effects, but once you complete a long rest, you'll be at full level 4 power. Level 4 power. Okay, so let me remind you kind of what you saw looking down from this mountain slope here. Sorry, I got a lot of flipping. So, the old Svalich Road transforms here from a winding path through the Balnok Mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. In the heart of the valley, you see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake, its water stark and still. A branch in the road that you have left behind is what led to the windmill. And so, as you guys are making your way down, it is getting to be mid-afternoon at this point. And as you descend further into the valley, you are spending another hour or so to get to the point where if you look on the map and you see where there's a little bit of a break in the trees between the road and the lake, you get to there after about another hour. And then the Ismark tells you, if we just continue to the west here, it should be, easy going on the remains of the road, and we have perhaps another 40 minutes or so before we reach Vallaki.
What time of day is it?
It's getting to be like maybe 3 or 4 at night, or in the afternoon.
Okay.
All right. So as you continue towards the road, let's talk about Vallaki. All right. As you get close to the town, as you move a little closer in, let me go ahead and switch you guys to the map of Vallaki. Again, it's like, okay, I'm going to briefly put you on the church map because it doesn't let me. There's too many to scroll through.
While you're doing map stuff, I'm going to entertain with a very short story. I played D&D from one of the very first books, the what they call the Blue Book. And when the hag cast Magic Missile, I was reminded of the Magic Missile from the very original, which was not these fancy, showy force bolts. The very, very original Magic Missile spell was that the wizard could take any object, and the spell would cause it to do a d6 of damage.
Oh, nice! Just literally.
And the wizard in our group saw that and thought that was really interesting, and would fling the craziest things that he could find using the Magic Missile spell. Handkerchiefs, peanuts, sandwiches, blobs of snot he'd poked from his nose, whatever he could think of that was bizarre to use with that spell. And to this day, I just can't.
So how'd your character got killed? Well, he sandwiched people up in him.
Okay, so I'm not going to put your tokens on the map here because the scale is weird on this one.
This is a bird's eye
kind
view.
of automatic, but like as far as knowing where you guys are, I'm not going to use your tokens for that.
Okay.
Right. But so everyone see this map of Vallaki here?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so the old Zvalich Road meanders into a valley watched over by dark brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against this wall as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are a half-dozen pikes with wolves' heads mounted on them.
I can understand that sentiment.
That's a good sign.
Well, I mean, good
How are
isn't
you
quite
feeling
the right
about that,
word.
Honor?
Sentiment?
Sleep deprived
That's a
and
good
sleepwalking.
Well, I mean, good.
Because remember, she got midwatch with Shadow, and there was stomping and stuff, so she really hasn't had much sleep. And with all of the excitement at the windmill, she's pretty much just sleepwalking at this point.
So how does Anubis feel about this?
Yeah, that's kind of
he's-
what I was getting at. Seeing all of these dead wolf heads on pikes outside the gates.
It's not quite the same, doggy. Don't worry. I'll attempt to soothe the dog.
Yeah, he's not too happy about it. But he's with a crowd of people, so it's obvious that he's not a wild wolf. He's going to count on.
It's only for the bad ones.
He's going
But
to
don't
count
be a
on
bad
the. He's going to count on his new friends to help keep him safe.
Okay.
His new pack mates.
All right, so do you guys approach the gates then?
Sure.
All right.
So the person that's been joining us every week, I just found out it's Paulette.
Oh,
Yay!
okay. Hi, Paulette.
Hi, Paulette.
So, just looking at the map here, are we at the gates at the north end of the town, or the east or the
end.
west?
East
East end. Okay.
You came along the old Svalich Road, and so you are on the eastmost, the right-hand side of the map.
Okay.
So you as you approach the gate, you see that the two figures standing behind it is one man and one woman. They're both wearing kind of leather armor, and they each have pikes, and they say, "Who goes there?"
We do.
Who would like to speak for the group? You know what?
Yeah,
Perry,
let's have
you're the
Perry.
smooth talker. I think maybe you should do the duties here.
Oh, well, all right. Hello. We'd like to come on in the inside, if you don't mind.
Why are
Julius
you so small?
instantly regrets his decision.
I'm as tall as I'm supposed to be.
Man says, "Why
I'm
are
as
you so
tall as I'm
small?"
supposed to be. Why are you so tall?
He frowns as though like you get the feeling he's not maybe the brightest. The woman looks at the rest of you and kind of just says, "What is your business in Vallaki?" And then Ismark actually kind of, looks at you and says, "Maybe I should."
Please.
Well, your local customs, perhaps.
And he just, so he approaches and says, "Greetings to you. I am Ismark Kolyanovich. I am the son of the burgomaster of the village of Barovia. We have come here seeking shelter for the night, a place to stay for tonight, and then we plan to be passing through on our way to Kresk in the morning." And as you and the guards kind of look at the rest of you and say, "You've got some weird traveling companions there, Mr. Ismark." He says, "Yes, they are powerful adventurers, and they have done well to protect us during our travels. They will not cause you any trouble in the town." The guard says, "Well, all right then," and points at the wolf and say, "Be real careful with that one. Not too many fans of wolves around these parts."
Oh, but he's one of the good ones, and I scratch him behind the ears.
"Well, all right then." And so they unlock the gates with a big key, and they open it and allow you to enter.
Now, can I activate my pub sense? It's right there on my sheet. I'm sure it's somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
is that on the sheet anywhere?
Stout resilience,
Well,
is that
you could also just ask the guards if you want.
You there, friend. Do you know of a good warm hearth with a wonderful tasty beverage?
Oh, yes. You'll be wanting the Blue Water Inn. It's the tavern in town, and if you're looking for a place to stay the night, that's going to be the place too.
Oh,
Blue
thank
Water
you.
Inns are run by the Martikov family. Good family. If you just keep following the main road here towards the center of town, you can't miss it.
Thank you very much.
That's
You may
a
let thunder
more
smile
inviting
upon you.
name. That's a much more inviting name than the one in.
I don't know if it describes
What was
their
the name of
wine.
the family?
So
The Martikovs is what he says.
Thank you.
I hope Blue Water isn't describing their blueberry wine. But I am partial blue, after all.
All right. So you guys make your way. Are you heading straight for that then, or are you kind of looking around? I'm sure on your way.
I'm heading straight there.
Okay. Well, so just
I think everybody in the party.
Yeah. We're all looking for a modicum of quiet and
What's the character of town along Main Street?
so let me pull up just to see if there's any official text other than letting you know this kind of stuff that you're passing. As you make your way through, you see sort of a big open area on your left as you're passing through town, and through there what you see is a big kind of open stockyard. Just as you look at it as you pass by, this large stockyard has several locked sheds along its periphery and lies adjacent to a roomy warehouse. A wooden sign above the front gate reads Arasek Stockyard. Parked at the south end of the stockyard is a sturdy carnival wagon, its colorful paint peeling off. Faded lettering on its sides. Well, you're not close enough to see that. But that's what you see as you pass along that. You see, kind of in the distance on the far side of it, a small building with a shingle sign hanging out front in the side, the shape of a coffin.
okay.
You pass by a road that you see would lead to the town square if you went down that way, but you don't really, staying on this main road, you don't really see much of the square other than you suspect that's what it would be if you went that way. You are almost there, and just ahead of you, you can now see this slightly L-shaped red building here on the map that's in the center.
The one in the
of town.
middle? Yeah, okay.
You can see that that building that you see ahead. That looks like it's probably the Blue Water Inn. But the only other notable building that you pass on your way there is on the left is a small shop with a dark entrance portico, above which hangs a wooden sign shaped like a rocking horse with a bee engraved on both sides. Flanking the entrance are two arched lead-framed windows. Through the dirty glass, you see jumbled displays of toys and hanging placards bearing the slogan, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Okay.
So that's kind of what you see on your way. And as you approach the Blue Water Inn, it's very obvious once you get there. I'm going to put your tokens on there in just a second. But so gray smoke issues from the chimney of this large 2-story wooden building with a stone foundation and sagging tile roof, upon which several ravens have perched. A painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall.
You don't say. I wonder if our friend, the famous mage from the story, actually fell off of this waterfall.
How many ravens are up there, and are they squawking or?
Right now, there's just a couple, and they don't seem to be doing much of anything. They do kind of. One of them does sort of turn and look at you, but they're both just perching up there, and they're not really doing anything right now.
Are they friends of yours, Julian?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna make a perception check.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me just try to get our map, because I'm putting you on a new map for the Blue Water Inn here. So I've just moved you as players over, but do you all see just black right now? Which is
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
let me get your tokens on here. And
Kind of feels like an eye exam. Do you just see black?
How about now? Is this better? Is this better?
Which is better?
Better
One or
over-
two.
Or two? One or two?
Map one or map 2?
One or two? Which always makes me laugh. I'm like, Doc, you haven't let me actually look to compare. You go too fast.
okay, so do you still only see black?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll have this ready in just a moment, because I feel like I've got the settings figured out now, and hopefully it will not take 15 minutes that I have to edit out later.
Is there hold music for tabletop audio? That'd be great.
By the way, when everything I was hearing you say was garbled, and my connection was going basically down the tubes, I could still hear the music just fine. It was a strange thing. Like all the audio is crashed except for the music.
Well, it's probably, that's interesting. I don't know. So I'm adding a few of you on here. Lee, do you see anything?
No.
Not yet? Okay.
I can see.
Okay. Let's see.
The way that they've got the line of sight thing working, it looks like there's gigantic columns, black columns coming up.
Well, I'll describe in a moment what you're seeing there, and if there's a reason why it would look like that. Because it's actually pillars for a porch.
Right, but it looks like they're like 100 feet tall.
Here we go. Okay. Okay. Is there anyone that still can't see anything?
Yeah,
I can't.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Make sure to zoom all the way out because it'll be in a different location
Yeah,
where we
Yeah.
last were.
Yeah, lower right.
Yeah, no, it zoomed all the way out. It's just a black rectangle.
Yep.
Massive columns of black.
Okay.
Oh, wait, something's appearing.
Did it just
I see
appear for you?
graphics. In the lower right-hand corner, I see graphics now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you should see everything. So, just now seeing graphics in one corner is not what I was hoping for.
Well, wait, do you have part of the map blocked off, or?
No, right now. Well, right now there should be a line of sight thing, but let me. Interesting. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's just where I've got you and.
Oh yeah, I do see the black shifting around as you're moving around the tokens.
Okay. So do you see like the front of this building now, Tim?
What I see is what appears to be shrubbery and a walkway leading up to.
Yeah. Okay. So
the
that's
front of the building, and then there's stairs pointing toward the top of the.
that's what you should see. Okay. Good.
Okay. Good.
Is there anyone who doesn't see that?
Yes.
Okay. Why would this token not be able to see? Oh, weird. How about now?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, good. For some reason it defaulted your token to not having sight, even though all the others didn't do that. So I don't know.
It knew I was sleepwalking.
Okay. So
Yeah,
we've got line of sight now set up for all of you guys, which is
Okay.
okay. So let's set this scene here. So you were going to make a perception check?
Yes, I
Julius?
rolled a 13.
Okay, just what are you trying to perceive here?
Whether the ravens are trying to tell me anything.
They don't seem to be trying to communicate any particular message right now.
Okay.
They're done with you.
For now.
Or just you seem to be doing what they want already, or who's to say?
Yeah, they do tend to get animated when they see me screwing up.
How does the outside of the building look? Is it scratched or torn or normal
Yeah,
or
actually,
worn up?
give me a moment.
Sure.
I'm fussing with a few things here. All right. You do see, it does seem to be a fairly busy tavern. You can definitely there's smoke coming from the chimney, and you can even kind of hear talking from inside. A lot of voices. Like it's maybe crowded.
Well, Perry's about to enter the tavern, so it's about to get a whole lot busier.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, as you're passing up this pathway, you're passing a well on your left, to the left of this main entrance. It's just it's a 3-foot high stone rim around the well.
Blue water?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, as you pass that well, you're heading outside staircase. Just to note, this dotted line that you see around here is because the second floor is actually bigger than the first floor, and so you're
so there's an
passing
overhang.
under. Yeah, you are. So once you're in that dotted line, what you're seeing is you are passing underneath a second floor that extends over, as an overhang, and means that this whole area, including like the well, is covered.
Okay.
There's no walls, but just that's what those pillars are, is the support beams for that overhang.
Hey, dogs allowed in this place?
Can try
I
to
certainly
find out.
hope so. I'm going to sleeping outside.
All right, so are you heading inside?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, as you enter the tavern, and you can each kind of maybe go to those front those front squares, and you can start to see what's inside. I haven't played around with the line of sight in here, so okay, yeah, that works pretty well. You can see that whole kind of area pretty well. Okay, so here's what you see as you enter. Damp cloaks hang from pegs in the entrance portico. The tavern is packed with tables and chairs with narrow paths meandering between them. A bar stretches along one wall under a balcony that can be reached by a wooden staircase that hugs the north wall. Another balcony overhangs an entrance to the east, which is where you just came in. All of the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars. Lanterns hanging above the bar and resting on the tables bathe the room in dull orange light and cast shadows upon the walls, most of which are adorned with wolf heads mounted on wooden plaques.
I'm sensing a theme.
So here's a question for you, Honor, is that as you guys are entering, are you kind of trying to be not ostentatious with Anubis? Or you're going to have Anubis maybe wait outside? What's your plan here? Because you're definitely getting a sense of a theme.
Yeah, I'm going to try and keep Anubis like right by my legs to make sure that they know he's with me.
Okay.
But I'm going to stay by the door so that I have a quick escape.
Okay. So you do get some looks as you enter, and some people are actually staring, but there's a lot of people, and they all seem kind of like they're sort of busy with various things. So as you are kind of looking around, there's a lot of people who are just kind of, commoners that seem like they must live around here, and they're hanging out because this is the local watering hole, so to speak. But you do see some, more notable people. Behind the... let me give you, I'm going to be giving you some handouts. Town of Valaki. Let's see. Oh, you know what? They don't have, they don't have handouts for everybody, but you see tokens for some of them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So you see behind the bar is a a middle-aged woman who, where I have the, want to make sure, who has, she's wearing some raven feathers in her hair, and she looks kind of like, she can handle herself. You know what I mean? Like she feels like you feel like she kind of runs this place, keeps the tap room from getting too rowdy, and she's also standing behind, tending bar, and she doesn't say anything, but as you guys enter, she definitely just gives you a look as though to say, like, I'm the one to talk to. Meaning, like, if you're here for a drink or to stay, approach me. So just kind of that acknowledgement of I see you have entered.
Okay.
And then also, you see a couple of rough-looking types near. These are the guys that are toward the northmost part of the room. That look like they're dressed in like rough furs and look like they probably spend a lot of time kind of out in the wilderness. And they've got furs, and they've got bow and arrows on them, and they're drinking and kind of glowering a little bit, but not in a hostile way, but just kind of they're watching anybody who enters sort of way.
Let me guess, wolf fur.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
not surprised.
definitely a theme.
You see in more the slightly north table, the center table. It's just the same picture on the two tokens there, but you see two guys dressed in nicer clothing than most everybody else has, but they are also both kind of. They look like they've had more. This is not sort of maintenance. They're having a good time, and they're kind of talking to each other and laughing. And then, other than just the other, commoners that are around, the other notable figure is at the bar, talking quietly with Danica, and he is a colorfully dressed half-elf. You notice that he's got pointed ears, and he is dressed colorfully. Doesn't seem like it's quite the same style as the Vistani wore, but it's at the same time, it certainly stands out amongst the grays and the browns and the furs of what most people in Barovia that you've seen so far are wearing. So, with all of those various figures surrounding you, you're in a busy tap room. You've just made your way in. We're keeping Anubis kind of try to low profile for now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I see my destination pretty clearly.
All right.
I hop up to the bar.
All right. This woman,
Hello, miss.
She looks up at you, and kind of there's just sort of a moment of like, well, hello. Greetings to you. I'm Danica Martikov. I run bar here at the Blue Water Inn. How may I help you?
Danica, it's a pleasure to see someone with your profession in mind right now. I could use a wee pint, no, a larger pint of something strong and tasty.
Well, we've got some purple grape mash number 3 wine, and that's going to be 3 electrum coins, electrum pieces each. And we've also, we can give you a pint of the Red Dragon Crush. That's the good stuff, and that's going to be 1 silver piece each.
Oh, well, I might as well start with the good stuff to wet my whistle. Have one of that. Is it Red Dragon Crush?
Yes, Red Dragon Crush. That's our finest vintage.
No actual dragons were harmed in the making of this mead, I hope.
Well, wouldn't that be something if it were?
Wouldn't it be?
No, just wine. Grapes.
A silver piece. Oh, fine.
All right. So you hand it over. She turns to one of these kegs behind her and fills a pint glass, which is going to be a lot of wine for a halfling, with wine, and hands it over to you.
They come in pints?
It apparently does. And so she hands that over and says, I hope you enjoy. Will you and your friends be looking for a place to stay as well?
That's true. Yes, we will. We'll need a couple of rooms.
Well.
Depending on the sizes, of course. And if we might be able to get at least one room with no windows. We hate the breeze, some of us do, so
No windows? I'm sorry, I don't think we don't have any rooms with no windows.
Oh, that's too bad. I know that some places have like an odd little room that doesn't have any windows, and we would take one of those if it was the case. But if you don't, well, it's all right.
I just remembered that I should have Ismark and Arena in there with you. So let me.
Where did they go?
Yeah.
Did we forget somebody?
And Lucian. Yeah,
And Lucian.
They're all hanging out. So let me. Irina, incidentally, looks like she's a little bit like Ismark is striding in, like he feels comfortable here. She's being a little warier, but you understand why that might be. But yes, he's kind of takes up a seat and he's just kind of sitting. Looks like he's, it's been a day. And he has, offers to, Lucian comes up and sits next to him, I think. All right, so you wanted the rooms. I'm trying to remember, double check how many rooms. She says, well, sorry, I'm doing a lot of flipping here because there's a lot of information to cover in this town. Let's see.
But what, 8 people?
Yeah, so she says...
And a wolf?
Yeah. She says, I have 2 rooms that have 2 beds each, and then, wait, let me make sure. And then we've got a less fancy room that's it's just mostly 4 cots in there.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad. What's your rates for the evening?
That's a very good question that it doesn't have in an obvious place for me.
A halfpenny each. That's amazing.
What I'll say is, I'd say for the lot of you, since if there's 8, that you'll fill up all of our available beds. So I'll give you the bulk rate. That 5 gold pieces for the lot of you will get you the room and dinner.
Oh, take it.
Absolutely.
Sounds great. What's for dinner?
Well, we've got a nice stew cooking. My husband Erwin is back in the kitchen. She kind of gestures towards the door that is to her left, behind the bar. She says, "My husband Erwin's in there making dinner."
Oh, a wee bit of a cook myself. Do you mind if I poke back there?
Oh, sure.
Always curious to see how other cooks do it.
Be my guest. You want to head back there?
With my pint in tow.
Okay. Well, so before we deal with that, is anyone else getting up to anything, or are you kind of keeping to yourself so far here in the tap room?
I was going to talk to the bartender after he was done.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so we can do that as he goes back into the kitchen. Anyone else doing anything?
I think Honor and Anubis are going to retire for the rest of the day, just to keep a low profile. And yeah, all those wolf pelts are kind of freaking the both of us out.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean, like, she's like agreed to rent the rooms to you, but we haven't like handed over keys or anything like that yet. So, so you're not able to yet go just straight to the room.
Right, but that's my plan at this point.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything?
I'm ordering a pint of that good stuff that Perry just got.
Okay.
I'm chilling with Anubis and Honor.
Okay. So we'll say that Perry goes off to the kitchen, but before we address that, Jasric and Julius, I think we're both going to talk to the bartender. Is that
I think
right?
Jasric was. I didn't say anything about talking to the bartender.
But you ordered the wine, right?
The ale. Yeah.
Well, it's wine.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's wine. It's in pint glasses, but she has the purple grape mash number 3, which is the cheap stuff, and the red dragon crush, which is the good stuff.
Is it made from real dragons?
She kind of laughs and just says, "Haha, your friend just made the same joke."
Copycat.
I laughed the first time. Yeah, so it's the good stuff, and I do hope you enjoy it. We're running a little low on it at the moment. So she pours you the glass. You hand over a silver piece.
Okay.
All right. And then she looks over at you, Jasric, and just says, "Ah, you look like you've had a rough day, my friend. Can I get you some wine?"
Yeah, I'll have one of those too. I'll hand over the silver piece. I'm also looking for the family of our young traveling companion over there, Lucius. He's something of a refugee, and we're looking for his family here in the city.
One brief DM note, not to interrupt your roleplay too much, but we're getting a lot of conflation. We have Julius and Lucien.
Lucian, yeah.
Yeah.
Lucian.
Okay. So she kind of looks past you over at the at Lucian in the sitting at the table and just says, "Oh, well, certainly I know most folks around here. Do you know his family's name?"
We don't know their last name. He just knows.
You did know their last name. He didn't.
Oh, we did. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell her the last name.
Was like Miloj.
Yeah.
I think is what I said. I could look it back up, but
the Miloj family. I don't have much more information. He doesn't know them particularly well, but he knows that they live in the city.
She says, "Yes, I've seen them around. I'm actually not sure which house is theirs, but I'm sure at this time of day you'd find the lady of the house at St. Andrew's Church, west end of town."
Thank you. Once we've what time is it at this point?
It's starting, like it's not sunset yet, but it's getting towards that. It's maybe like 6 or 7.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that we're paid up for room and board and stuff, and get some food quickly with Lucian, and then bring him over to the church.
Okay. All right. So let's have Perry move over into. I'll have you move up into the kitchen here. And so as you get in there, it's like this room looks like the kitchen of someone who loves to cook. It has piles of pots, walls lined with utensils, and shelves of ingredients, and all manner of pleasant odors. 2 lanterns hang above a sturdy pine work table in the middle of the clutter, and a pot of soup bubbles on the hearth. And you see standing at one of the prep tables is a man who slightly nicer clothes than most of the rest, but wearing sort of a big sturdy apron over it, and he has a big full beard with the sort of white and black streaks in it, and same white and black streaks in his hair. And he looks up at you, kind of looks a little surprised at first, but just says, "Well, come on in. You hungry?" And you see also that there are 2 children, sort of hanging out. They look bored, like they were maybe told to do chores, and they're taking their time with them.
I feel like you were talking to me and I just got back.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just described what you found in the kitchen. Did you missed all of that?
I missed all of that. Last I left, they were
okay.
talking to the bartender. Sorry, because I did send a message in the chat there and
Okay, sorry.
ran away.
Yeah, so you went into the kitchen, and this room looks like the kitchen of someone who loves to cook. It has piles of pots,
excellent.
walls lined with utensils and shelves of ingredients, and all manner of pleasant odors. 2 lanterns hang above a sturdy pine work table in the middle of the clutter. A pot of soup bubbles on the hearth, and behind this work table you see a middle-aged man with white and black streaks in his full beard and his hair, and he's wearing kind of nicer clothes but with a sturdy work apron over it. And 2 children, which you guess are probably his, are kind of fussing about with some other stuff in the preparation, but don't seem like they're very enthusiastic about it.
Well, hello there.
Ah, hello. Welcome. I assume you spoke to my wife, Danica?
Indeed, lovely lass. Had a great suggestion. This pint of Dragon Crush, something like that.
Oh, Red Dragon Crush. Yes, that's our best vintage. Hopefully, we can keep our supply up. My family makes it,
You do. Oh well, that's a pride you can be sure to take and pass down to these lovely children here.
It's actually my cousin's family that runs the Wizard of Wines up
Oh, I've heard of the
beyond
place.
Kresk, but relations.
I've heard of the place. Unfortunately, I heard there were some difficulties. They said you were almost running out too, huh?
Yes. Actually, let me. I have the bit where. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff in this area, so I'm having to flip back and forth a little bit. I apologize. Okay. I know there's a specific bit where it is what he would talk about in terms of. Okay. All right. Yes. Well, you see, I normally kind of enjoy that the wine deliveries just come from the winery on a regular basis. I'm proud to have my family be the wine suppliers, but you see, whenever I talk with my brother, it just you know how it is with family. Just can't seem to have a conversation with him without it turning to shouting. But
Oh, I'm afraid that I don't shout so much at my sister, but Cyril is a fine sort, but I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding.
Well, it's a misunderstanding with us too. I do care about them, and obviously, keeping the supply of wine flowing is an important part of our business, of course. But yes, the deliveries are overdue. So, you look like you're maybe the adventuring sort. I don't suppose you might be heading that way. Oh, we lost your audio again, Mark.
Is it?
There
is
you
it
are.
back?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, you're back.
Yeah, it's auto muting me for some reason. I'm not
That's
sure what's going
strange. I don't know.
on. Well, I do get it about here and there, and adventuring as far as wine is concerned is a regular basis. But I had been concerned by the words I heard of Wizards of Wine having difficulty delivering the necessary spirits to keep everyone's spirits in high times. So I was hoping to go in that direction, if I had time.
I tell you, if you can go and sort out whatever the difficulty they're having and ensure that our shipment of wine arrives as needed, we'll be happy to provide you and your party with free room and board as a reward.
Well, I mean, I can't promise it necessarily happening overnight. We've got a few things to go and some people to help on their way onto Kresk and so forth. How far from here is the Wizard of Wine?
Well, let me...
It's beyond Kresk, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it would be several hours from here to reach Kresk, but then you follow the road southwest from there, and it would take you to the winery. I wouldn't think you would be able to make it tonight, not before nightfall.
Oh no, my friends and I are well due for a good rest and a good meal, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to come in, is to see what kind of good meal you had and prepared. But in due time, I'm sure I'll make my way to the winery one way or the other.
I should clarify in my directions. You would, if you were to reach Kresk, you would have gone slightly too far. There's a fork in the road before you would reach either the winery or Kresk, and you would take one path to reach the winery and the other to reach Kresk.
All right, well, I'll be sure to keep those directions in mind as we travel. Thank you very much. We're all a bit new to this area, and it seems, a little bit confusing and turn around, if you know what I mean.
One of the kids looks at you and then turns to his dad and says, "Is he a kid?"
Aye, boy, I am. I'm only 36.
The kid kind of narrows his eyes at you. That's weird. And the dad says, "Now, Bray, let's be polite to our guests.
I take it you don't have too many of my kind on these places.
No, no, we're mostly humans around here, although there are some elves out at the Vistani camp.
More's the pity for that. I'll see if I can spread the good cheer of my folks around here as much as I can.
Well, we could certainly do with good cheer around these parts. I thank you for that.
Tell me a bit about this town. I'm new to the area, and I was kind of curious.
All right. Well, what would you like to know?
Well, I guess, I take it you have a bit of a wolf problem in these parts.
We do. I mean, wolves are a constant problem. They, are breed in the woods all the time, but also sometimes seem to be acting under the influence of Strahd. So, that is an issue. But, of course, we more recently have a number of wolf trophies being hung and presented because the most recent festival involved keeping some of involved presenting the trophies and using them sort of like totems with the theory that it would keep evil away. I don't want to speak ill of the festival, but that is why you see some extra wolf trophies more than usual.
Well, we all turn to wonderful things to find our solace. Myself, the rising sun is my solace. Oh, and a bit of a warning. One of my companions has a good friend who is also a wolf. I don't want any trouble. We're trying to make sure that people are aware and keep distance. The wolf is well trained and comes from outside of the area, so I doubt there's any influence from your Strahd fellow.
Okay,
but,
well, I mean that's fine with me, and you won't get any trouble with from me and mine here in the inn. Can't speak for everyone in town, and I'd advise you maybe keep this wolf away from Zoldar and Yevgeny. They're wolf hunters out in the tap room right now. They might want to be wary around those two. I don't think they'd harm her. I don't think they'd harm him here inside, but they do get a bounty for wolf pelts and might see an easy target.
I will make sure my friend has a careful time at keeping her wolf at bay. He's really quite a sweet little animal. Not like the terrible, large, awful, ugly-looking wolves we faced off a little bit earlier today.
There's certainly some nasty ones out there in the woods. Soldar and Yevgeny, they're not a bad sort, just mercenary, if you will.
Well, maybe I'll seek out their advice on ways to keep ourselves safe when we travel on the road. So, what is there to do in this town? Is it the festival you mentioned of the wolf? That was just passing. Is there other things that are coming here and there? Something to look forward to?
The next festival will maybe interest you. It is the Festival of the Blazing Sun.
Well, that sounds fun.
Well, you say that. Sorry, we just get... we have so many festivals, it is hard to maintain the same level of enthusiasm for all of them.
We have a lot of festivals. A lot of things to look forward to.
Yes. The burgomaster, this is Baron Vargas Vlakovic, is the burgomaster here in Vallaki, and he believes that festivals are a way of warding off evil, and whether they are effective or not, who can say? But celebration of the festivals and participation is generally mandatory.
Does it work?
Kind of shrugs.
Well, we do what we can, and as I'm in town for a little while, I'll try to spread some joy. But I don't want to keep you too much from your cooking. I wouldn't mind poking a bit. I'm a bit of a cook myself, if you don't mind.
Ah, really? Do you have any favorite recipes?
Oh, many. But I don't think I'm going to find too much mutton that's fresh and ready to go here. So I'll make do, or I can make do with whatever's on hand. Maybe you can give me some tips about some of the wilder vegetables and things I can catch along the road if necessary.
Oh, sure.
Now we don't have to play this out in real time because
Yeah.
I don't want to hog the
Yeah,
spotlight.
so we
but
say you guys can talk shop a little bit. With,
the thing he's
with
actually there to do, yes, is to talk shop. But given our recent experience, he's looking carefully over the kitchen to see what kind of meats and vegetables and things are going into the food.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Ha!
Well, there's not a lot of ingredients like on display. I mean, there's a soup that's cooking, but you can't really see what went into it. The only things you really see on like in the prep tables is like vegetables, carrots, and turnips and stuff.
Okay. He'll sample the food, and he's still rattled from earlier.
Yeah. So he offers you a taste of the soup if you're interested, and it's not bad. It's not high hot cuisine or anything like that, but it is well spiced and tastes like it was made with fresh ingredients.
Well, that'll keep you good and warm during a chilly day. Very good.
He kind of just nods in appreciation. All right, so let's go back out into the tap room for a moment. We have the honor. You notice, even though as you're kind of just lurking there in the front entrance with Irina and Shadow are kind of there with you. Make a perception check, Honor.
Okay. Gotta find it.
All right. Yeah. This is a lot of activity, for you. You're not really used to these sort of crowded places. You don't spend a lot of time there. It's probably a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
Shadow, you can make a perception check too. All right. Yeah, you notice first of all that even though there's a lot of people that are they're not openly staring, there are definitely a lot of people who are kind of recognizing you guys as strangers to town and are kind of watching to see what you're going to do. The two guys in the two guys who are kind of laughing to each other seem lost in their own sort of plots with each other. But the two rough-looking guys in the north definitely have noticed Anubis. You also notice, because that was a really high roll, that half-elf at the bar seems to really be keeping to himself. Everyone else is kind of at tables with other people and sort of enjoying themselves, whereas he's definitely alone and sort of not talking to anybody. Are you guys just... Oh, you're muted.
I just said, interesting.
Yeah.
All
Right.
All right.
So, let's say that you guys can figure out who actually is paying the gold pieces, but you've arranged with Danica to have the rooms, and she hands over the keys and says, since you're pretty much taking all of the rooms, I can show you to them. Basically, what you're going to need to do, though, is you're going to go back out the front door and go to the outside staircase. It's just to your left as you go out the front door. That'll take you up to the balcony up there, and she points across the room, and you can see there's a balcony with a few doors there. She says, the first two doors on your left are the big rooms with 2 beds each, and then at the end of the hall, at the end of the balcony, is the room with the 4 cots.
Okay. I'll pay since I kind of want to get out of this room pronto, I'll go ahead and pay for everybody.
Okay. Thank you, since there's no cash on my sheet. So
I had 10 gold to start. 7 silver a piece if we wanted to bring it up later.
Yeah.
With an 8 silver for somebody. That's assuming Lucian doesn't pay for a room, because I doubt he has money.
Yeah. I'll just pay for everybody because I've got the gold in my pocket. And me and Anubis are going to head out and up the stairs.
Okay. We'll have you do that in just a second. But Jasric, Ismark kind of comes over to you and just says, I am actually a little bit wary of spending the night here because we know that Strahd may be following us here, and I hope that we will be safe here in Vallaki, but I wonder if we might be safer still at the church.
You're welcome to come along if you think that's a better option. I'm just going there to drop off the kid. And at the very least, we're going to need someplace to have dinner. So this will be fine.
What time of day is it again?
It's like 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to
stay before sundown.
Yeah, I was going to quickly eat some food here and then bring the kid over to the church.
Okay. So let me move Honor, just so you can go up and inspect this because I'm moving you up to where you'll be on the balcony up.
Okay.
And you could probably also have like Anubis like stay in the room if you were going to be behind somewhere. So, let me read you the descriptions, what you find up there. So as you go back outside, and as she suggested, there's an outdoor staircase there that leads up to this balcony. A wooden balcony stretches the full length of the tap room, enclosed by a wooden railing carved with raven motifs. The tap room's many lanterns illuminate the rafters and cast ominous shadows on the peaked ceiling. And you can see from where you are, over the railing is down. You can see the tap room below. So there, where I think does it say open to below from where you can see?
I can see the silhouette of the tables and everything from where I'm standing.
I'm just saying that on my view, it has a little sign that says open to below, and I wasn't sure if that read on you.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so yeah, what that is it is open to the tap room below.
Okay.
And so, as she suggested, there is on the far end there is a door, and then there are two doors on the left wall as you are on the balcony.
Okay.
And so I'll just go ahead and say, so you inspect both of the doors on the left. They open with the keys that you got. And each of the two rooms on the left are basically the same. And we would say, so 2 cozy beds with matching foot lockers rest in the far corners of this 15-foot square room. Wolf furs are heaped atop each bed. Between the beds, a lamp sits on a table under a shuttered window. 2 tall black wardrobes stand against the wall by the door. And so they each have two windows.
Okay. I'm just going to take the first room at the top of the stairs.
Okay. If you check in the other room, the room at the end of the balcony there, it is 4 plain beds with straw mattresses line the north wall. North is actually down. No, excuse me. The north wall is up. The north wall of this well-lit room. Each bed comes with a matching footlocker to store clothing and other belongings. A table and 4 chairs occupy the corner across from the door. An oil lamp resting on the table casts a bright yellow flame.
Okay. Actually, I like this room better because there are no wolf pelts. So I'm going to go get my dog, go get my wolf, and we're going to take up residence over there.
Okay, and are you just you're just going to hang out there for now?
Yeah, we're gonna keep a low profile and hang out here. I might actually skip dinner and just have some ration bars and just get a good night's sleep.
Okay. So the rest of you then.
So I'm actually gonna want to go and talk to that elf, but we're coming close to 5 o'clock, and I'm going to need to go.
Okay. Yeah, I actually do also. So perhaps now is a good enough time to go ahead and close for this session. We don't have such a high drama.
Jasric, run somewhere.
Jasric pulls a knife on the bartender.
So I think we'll leave it there then for tonight. You've arrived at the town of Valaki, and there's a lot going on here. So
Should we level up for next session?
yes.
Yes.
So go ahead and prepare your level 4 stuff, and I can help any of you with that needs it.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
right.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine.
Okay, so thank you everybody, and for
Thank you.
playing, and those of you who watched and or listened, and we will return with more Curse of Strahd.
This is not going to work.